Hello and welcome to the Lega Pauper Lipsia Gameday 6. My name is Philipp and with me, as always, Moritz.
Just Moritz.
Just
It
Moritz.
it will always be just Moritz from now.
It will always
Very
be just
sad.
Moritz. We are very happy to have you and witness our feature match table. The games were recorded some 2 weeks ago. This weekend we have the World Championship going on, and I don't see this as the side event, but one day it could be the main event of the World Championship, right? Pauper?
Power for sure. I mean, there was also some other large tournament in between the Lega Day and our recording right now, which is of course the Pauper took place.
Yes.
And spoiler alert, one of the decks that we can see on screen right now even took the whole tournament.
So what do we have today? We have Max on Maxite Burn, and we have Andreas on Radness. So So we have the two mono red archetypes battling it out for winning the first stage of our Lega, and as you mentioned, also kind of battling out for the top one of the Pauper.
I mean, one of the versions here was the winner of Pauper, and the other version is kind of, Maxite Burn. It's kind of a pet deck of one of our locals here.
I see. You already want a spoiler whether Max Homebrew mono red build has made it to the top one of Pauper. Okay, so we have we have the build with Gutter Snipe battling it out against the build without Gutter Snipe.
Yes.
Maybe a shortcut for this matchup?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's also probably the card that's gonna revolve around.
Yes. I mean, playing mono red, you actually have a lot of answers for Gutter Snipe. But the Gutter Snipe deck is also pretty good at just overloading the stack and dealing with the life points of an opponent who has no life gain, probably either main or side.
Yeah, that's the harsh reality playing red. And they're already going ahead, and there we can see the strength of Maxite Burn, which is of course the turn 1 Tomb Raider. Never not having it.
And it's the beautiful version, altered I think by the artists themselves and achieved by Max. And we follow it up with another Tomb Raider. I was just about to ask, are we running this on a one lander? No, it's 2 lands, but 7 damage in the first 2 turns. And we see a Lightning Bolt to decrease that to 5 damage. So Andreas goes down to 15.
I think you cannot ask much more for a start for the aggressive red player. And now you see plot highway robbery, of course, to enable future turns.
But with 3 more mountains and a fire blast in hand, which is a rough one to deal with this board.
Yeah. And at least no more hasters coming down. So the aggressiveness stays at 3 damage a turn right now. But I think there's plenty of burn also in Max's hand right now. And being on 12, Chain Lightning cannot replicate, so you just take 3.
And now it's 3 more bolts or 1 more combat and 2 more bolts.
And I think I've seen a Galvanic Blast in the hand of Max, so he's probably just waiting for Metalcraft to turn online, which he just need one more artifact. And then that's also already just 4 damage. Yeah, there's 2 Snackers in the hand, I think, of Max. Yeah, 2 Snackers and a Galvanic Blast.
And Andreas is with 2 Gutter Snipe, Fire Blast, Epicure, and probably a land. Okay, so I think they are casting the Robbery.
Choosing discarding the Temper.
It's Temper. I thought it was Fire Blast.
Probably aiming at the Tomb Raider because you're not in, the enemy is not in range of dying, and you are in range of dying, so...
No, and there is also Fire Blast. Okay. But this is pretty much the best thing they can do right now. I mean, getting a snacker online probably is too late. It's tapped. It can be bolted.
Yeah.
But just, like tempo positive, cast temper on the Tomb Raider.
Do you know what they're arguing right now?
Yes, at the moment of discard and madness. But I mean, on this board state,
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
it was some information was revealed, I would say. But eventually they will figure it out to discard temper, cast temper on madness cost.
No, first drawing the two cards. You first draw the two cards and then you cast it for his madness cost.
But I mean, again, maximum Andreas revealed some information.
It's usually not very relevant. Usually it's like, oh yeah, okay, you can see what you draw and then make the decision to cast it or not cast it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's in this matchup, it's.
And I think Andreas is, that's what I'm trying to say. Andreas is not getting a advantage through this, but a disadvantage.
Yeah.
So they reveal some information. They have less information to make their play. So everything they did is to their disadvantage. So I think doesn't need to be ruled out or anything.
Yeah. But I mean, the madness is actually so many players, and even myself, I stumbled upon it multiple times. Like, when exactly is the madness trigger happening and what is even happening? It's such a, like, on paper, it seems like such an easy mechanic, but the timing and everything is kind of off.
They drew 2 bolts off the top.
See, so now they can make maybe a better decision to still target the Tomb Raider.
It's hard to believe that there will be a different decision.
Ooh,
And
it's going face. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, maybe he done the math because he has also a gutter snipe in hand. So maybe he's in his head right now calculating.
Wow,
that's aggressive. Like, this
is sick.
I would even say that's kind of gambling a little bit.
But sorry.
But Max is stranded with like snackers in hand, so.
And maybe they realized that by killing the Tomb Raider is just not enough. They would still be dead to a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And here they create an out. But do you think they can kill next turn? Play Gutter Snipe. They have Fire Blast in hand for short, so that's 6 damage.
They don't have a mountain. So they will probably either risk. I mean, and I think you cannot risk the Gutter Snipe being removed before getting value out of it, because that's just too dangerous right now. So you need the Gutter Snipe to connect with at least 2 spells. But I think if there are now 2 Gutter Snipes in hand.
Okay, we keep it up. Epicure Chump Block on Tomb Raider. Don't take damage. Don't give them a card with the blocking the Percussionist. And then Bold Face again.
Yeah. That's going to 13.
But now Max has 3 artifacts, so Gallblast is 4 damage.
Yeah.
So that's 1 bolt away from lethal. And I think that Andreas is still in the position to need to kill next turn. But with Gutter Snipe, Fire Blast, Bolt, that's 7. That's already 11 damage.
Yeah.
If this Bolt was a Lava Dart, I think it would be lethal.
Yeah, Lava Dart is 6. But Max is probably right now considering, do I want to Gulf Blast face, but you can just take it and chill. Because the Gulf Blast needs to hit the Gutter Snipe. So you need to hold that back, unfortunately.
Well, now maybe Max is also going to turn to the ignore the board, go face lines.
And he is.
I mean, on this board, if you play a Gutter Snipe and then Max swings with these creatures, Andreas has to trade with the Tomb Raider, so decent maybe.
Wait, how did Max get...
What is going on? And why is... okay, they didn't... Max is at 13 life. Okay, here comes the big turn.
I always tell them you have to just do one thing, and that is keep the life total up to date.
Play Magic. That's the one thing they have to do.
Yeah, play Magic, and please keep the life total up to date on the phone.
Okay, but now it looks like the the line is going into...
Ooh. I mean, but he cannot kill right now, so I don't know what he's trying to achieve right now. I think
killing is over. Also discarding Gutter Snipe. And now it's prevent damage.
Yeah, it must be like you have to bolt the Tomb Raider now, basically. And then your bolt is gone for the Gutter Snipe lethal attack. I don't know what... I think Max is currently considering, do I crack the blood, discard a snacker, and hope to draw a haste creature? Because...
Sure. I mean, you turn off Gale Blast, but besides that... You could top deck a lot of stuff that's lethal.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
I think so.
an Epicure might be lethal already.
Yeah, Epicure, Raider, any haster. So I think you dig for it. Yeah, and that's
is lethal.
That's the Epicure. Damn. Okay.
Okay, so Max taking it down on the play with 2 lands, including a Furnace and 2 Tomb Raiders, which was basically enough. I think Max plays 10 draw spells and is really proud of them, but here, I know Snacker was discarded in the last moment to find 1 damage of an Epicure. Besides that, it was just all to the board aggressiveness.
And what I really like is that I think Max is not aware, or was not aware, of how close to dead he actually was.
On the Gutter Snipe?
Yeah. Like, looking at the hand, if the board pressure wasn't so present, I think 1 more turn and Max would have been just dead. But of course, yeah, that's the explosiveness of the Radness build, and Max chooses more of the consistent be on board red plan. So sideboarding, what do we have for both of them?
Okay, those are the mono red, usually pretty slim sideboards, and I assume this is Andreas?
No, this is the Maxite.
This is
the left
Maxite.
side,
Okay,
yeah.
so on the Maxite side, we got only 4 red blasts. No, not you could play 8, but only 4. And instead we have 4 cast into the fire, 3 suplex to go all in on bridges and other artifacts, and then 4 Relic of Progenitus. Helps against mono blue terror, other stuff. I think in this matchup, if the main threat of opponent is instant speed burn and Gutter Snipe, you could take in sorcery speed suplex and maybe Relic to cut off the snackers. But I don't even know if these cards are better than the main board cards. What do you think?
I think you wouldn't board in suplex. I think taking out the Chain Lightning for a Relic is maybe, or like the Anti-Festivities also is horrible, and he plays 2 main in this matchup. So I think that's an easy swap in, swap out, because the Relic really is good against the Lava Dart, against the, everything basically. Looting, Lava Dart, Snacker, you hit a lot. And making sure that the Lava Darts cannot build up value before the big turn is huge. So I think maybe 2 and the Festivities go out, maybe 1 Chain Lightning, put in 3 Relics, because why not? For the Radness player, of course, they have the privilege of playing Searing Blaze, which in this matchup is really good. You can clear Tomb Raider and put 3 damage to the dome. So that's going to be coming in, I guess. I don't think like Smash or Artifact Removal is worth it, even though Max plays Great Furnaces.
That sounds huge, though.
It sounds huge if it works, and if it doesn't, it's kind of shitty.
On the play, instead of like plotting or casting a draw spell, you just exile the one, destroy the 1 furnace, deal 3. I mean, could be as impactful as dealing with a Tomb Raider.
Maybe, yeah. But I think also there's an argument for Anti-Festivities here, because Max plays so many 1 toughness creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And like controlling the board, I think, is for for Red Madness right now, like if you can slim the board, there's not so much explosiveness coming down from the Maxite version. So if you control the board, you can kind of better calculate what damage you will take in the future turns.
And the explosiveness being the early creatures, you mean, not the snacker engine?
Yeah, no, like the explosiveness, I mean, is the problem with Red Madness is you don't know if the next turn with like 4 mana you're gonna take 3 or 20 damage, and for the Maxite, the Maxite version, it's much more calculated how much damage you will take because most of it is on the board.
Mm-hmm.
So if you enable yourself to give yourself tools to deal with the board, you can much better manage the damage.
And like connected to that, I have the question: what both players, like what role in the game they assume?
Mm-hmm.
Because if the gutter snipe deck is the control here, and that means they want to answer the board and then win the late game or the mid-late game.
Mm-hmm.
And in that scenario, I can see both Searing Blaze, both Smash to Smithereens just try to deal with the resources of the Maxite deck and keep them low. And then, at some point with 5 land drops and enough cards drawn, some 15 damage of a gutter snipe will happen. This is one option, but the other one is maybe the gutter snipe deck here is the aggressor, and the Maxite deck with all the card draw is the control. So if the and in that case, I think boarding works a little different, because if the gutter snipe deck only wants to kill before Maxite draws 1 million cards, then I think Searing Blaze and Smash become a lot worse, and you just try to focus on going face with 1 mana spells. So I hope the players will answer this question for us and
Yes.
show us what they boarded, but also show how they play.
Okay, so in Andreas' hand is already a Smash to Smithereens.
Okay. So
So
they're definitely going for Ponza here. Let's see if they also go for board control.
and that would be... Okay, Smash on a Relic is also really good.
It helps, yeah.
Okay, I didn't even think, of course, the Smash also hits the Relic, and if you anticipate the opponent putting in a Relic, then Smash is definitely has more good targets.
So they're both going for development here. Nothing hit the board yet. Max already telling that they want to play 2 things and swing.
Ooh.
So Max with the ideal start. Relic turn 1,
yeah.
so there is no grab the prize snacker shenanigans on turn 2. You can cut that off even without mana, and then turn 2 just board. Go to the board.
Yeah, that's true, I would say.
Okay, and we have a blocker, and now cast Highway Robbery for 1 damage.
Yeah, and then probably Temper on the radar or face. Like I still don't know how to play this properly. Like I don't know. Let's see what Andreas decides. First drawing the cards, of course.
Another smash.
Okay.
Okay,
Clean.
this time they prioritize the creatures from the beginning.
And there's 1 more ping damage. Yes. Okay.
Okay, now Max, this is asking Max hand, do you have a lightning bolt? Because otherwise you need to dig for it now.
Yep. Exactly.
I've seen a Tamper and a draw spell in Max hand. I'm not sure whether there is a bolt.
Probably not, because that is kind of an instant, easy thing you do. Yeah, I think you plot the robbery now to do the Temper in the next turn, but
I think this is already good for the gutter snipe deck now.
yeah.
You stopped attacking, and if you stop the aggro deck from attacking, you already done something. And now they have ways to deal with the relic, but that's not even relevant yet. No snacker inside.
You can chill. Like you make a blood token right now, and there is another Fiery Temper in hand. So you could even just end step, crack blood, Temper face, just to get the clock going.
Or answer a Tomb Raider.
Yeah, because you kind of... It could be that your Flame Breather will be answered the next turn, right? With the plotted highway robbery. So I think leaving them, just passing now or leaving the mana open to get those one more ping out of the Flame Breather is probably the right call. Okay, so Max's turn. Third land drop.
And there is no downside because you also have Smash. I mean, you could also just kill the Clockwork, deal 3. It's not ideal, but you could kill the Relic, deal 3. That's, if nothing else is happening and you are at 17 life, perfect thing to do, to spend your mana on.
You of course have to watch out that the Relic is, that there's no mana to crack the Relic in response, but there's no mana right now. So now I think would be the ideal time to just get rid of the Relic or cycle the Fiery Temper.
But I agree. I would also prefer getting rid of the Relic.
Yeah, because if now is a convenient spot and the blood token will stay there anyways. So you could just leave that resource on the table and just get rid of a resource of the enemy.
Yeah. And I think you could argue that as long as Andreas keeps the board in check, there's no way Max is going to kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
So keeping the tempers for creatures, as long as you have no gutter snipe in play, I think sounds a bit more promising. And Max kept his highway robbery.
Yeah, let's see. He has a highway robbery in hand, Andreas. So if he would have done the smash, he could have now highway robbery with discard. Getting rid of the dealing 3, revealing a bolt. But I think the hand of Andreas is just so good that maybe there's no need to play like fully optimal. Because right now you can just plot the robbery. You have a gutter snipe in hand. So next turn you can just gutter snipe, play the robbery. That's
2 damage, and then
and there's a Fire Blast in hand.
Fire Blast is 6 damage, and they have Smash, so they have already from the gutter snipe triggers enough.
Yeah, so probably you swing in with the Epicure, so opponent goes to 8, and then you just play gutter snipe robbery and Fire Blast, and that's GG. And Max, with his deck, cannot kill
from 15 life.
Yeah, 15 life without a board.
And Max is digging now.
Let's see. I think the
board phase. I mean, if Max takes this, okay, he does not take the 1 damage. So Andreas currently without a mountain has 8 damage in hand.
Yeah. So he needs to draw basically anything.
Yeah, especially with the robbery as well. He sees 3 more cards. I mean, the experience I have with the Radness deck is that you lose from this position. But
there's
I
another
think the odds tell you that it's different.
But I think still, as Andreas, you just not go for it. Like, you just slam the gutter snipe, do the robbery, then the opponent has to kill.
Oh, but 8 life is a lot different, I would say.
What do you mean?
I mean, surviving on 8 life if Max untaps now after drawing all these cards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have to go for it now. So they waste a bolt, or like they use a bolt on the gutter snipe for sure, because otherwise they are guaranteed dead. So they have to bolt the. Oh, not doing it. Okay, digging first. That's the safe route, I would say.
Oh, and they were right to do so because they have not drawn a land and not drawn a 1 mana spell. So that is exactly the scenario where it's not lethal.
I mean, yeah, it's not lethal, but you would have set up lethal guaranteed for the next turn and taken 1 burn spell off the hand of the red player.
Makes sense, yeah.
Because their red player, if they have a bolt, cannot allow for the gutter snipe to be on the board while the enemy is drawing cards. So you have to kill it. So I think Andreas wanted to dig for the guaranteed lethal, which would have probably been a lava dart or some 1 mana burn spell. But he didn't find it. Instead, he's now... and we were arguing, is Smash a good card? And I think it is a good card, but having 3 or 4 of them in the hand is exactly the spot where you don't want to be.
I think if you're trying to answer Tomb Raiders, neither Smash nor Searing Blazes. It's just 2 mana cards that get stuck in your hand. It's rough, I think. On the play maybe, but on the draw, playing Searing Blaze and Smash versus Tomb Raiders, I don't know.
It's still good, I think. So Max now dealing
2.
Okay, fair.
We're winning some battles here.
Yeah, but still
6-6. Max untaps first.
The problem is Max has a grab the prize temper in hand, and that is
5 damage.
5 damage, and he's now going down to 6. So he just needs, again, he's in a position where he needs 1 damage off the top, and that could be a haster, that could be Epicure, that could be Jacked Barons.
I mean, and you were right. He would have forced the Gull Blast on this Gutter Snipe, yeah. But I mean, awful position now. And
it's not easy to decide, Like it's not easy at all in the moment. And there's the Gull Blast. Oh, shit!
GG.
But then are these very small edges in the red mirror, Like it's crazy.
And even the relic did nothing. I mean, we saw no snackers or lootings on Andreas' side, and I mean, it was hanging around for a bit. Okay.
Damn, what a game to start the day.
Yes, a red pseudo mirror.
Yeah.
But actually, nice to show off the different avenues and tools, and playing without Gutter Snipe. Max just has to rely way more on the early board stuff. But even now in game 2, you could see that without it. I mean, he had a Tomb Raider at some point, I think, which got answered. And then Percussionist did 3 damage. And he did the rest of the 20 just with his hand.
Yeah.
No amplifiers needed.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, red burn spells still deal 3 to 4 damage, so...
2 to 4.
2 to 4.
As we also saw.
Yeah, that's right. Great game.
Yes, they're still over discussing some.
I think they're probably discussing the outs and like what could have happened and what was your hand and all the good stuff,
And we go on to the next, right?
Yes.
See you there. Welcome back to round 2, where we have Erik on Elves versus Christian on Caw-Gates. What do you make of this?
Caw-Gates. Christian brought Caw-Gates again. I remember that he also brought it, I think, in the larger Common Island tournament that we did here. And I still remember him from the High Tide days,
I remember from our first Lega stage, we talked in between the rounds, and he was still assuming that I also play High Tide because we met on High Tide in the tournament. And then I said, no, I play Caw-Gates. And he was like, what? Caw-Gates? So apparently he himself is on that deck.
So you maybe planted the seed for that?
Maybe. Or maybe he did.
Yeah.
And I never noticed. And I'm off the deck again, and now he's on it. And I think Caw-Gates right now, especially with High Tide out of the meta, has become a lot better positioned. Like preying on mono red, on mono white, mono blue. Some decent matchups there, and then I don't know, against all the pile and value decks, you are still in a rough spot against Jund and Affinity. Maybe Affinity fine with Dust to Dust, but how is it against Elves?
Must be pretty tough, I think.
Okay, the perfect start. Llanowar Elf, Priest of Titania, and Caw-Gates on the draw already way behind, like way behind. Maybe a Journey to Nowhere can like somewhat get back on tempo here, because now Elves has 5 mana with a land drop, 6 mana with any Elves played, 7-8 mana if they have 2 draw spells. Woo.
At this point, honestly, like, you just slam a Hunter and win.
Yes, yeah. Oh, you also got this line now if you play the mono green version. Okay, and what's in the hand? I see a Timber Watch, Elite the Stampede.
Yeah, I think there's an Generous End, and the rest I'm not fully sure, but I think, I mean, the Caw-Gates player is also tapped out, so I think you can do anything now. I think like Timberwatch would be great to get down, but there's even an argument to just lead the Stampede to for sure fill your hand.
Yes, I think you want to resolve that as long as possible.
Yeah.
In the end, I mean, with a Priest online and Caw-Gates probably doesn't play Sweeper's main board, you could try to hardcast that at some point. Also playing Elvish Mystic here, tapping a Llanowar Elf is mana neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, I don't know, you can play another Priest.
I love Elves, dude. I just the same, like over there, right on my workbench, there's a half assembled Elf deck right now, because it was such a great it had such a great showing in the Pauper also.
Mm-hmm.
It's well positioned in the meta right now.
Yeah, the same. Like Elves also got a lot better with High Tide gone.
Yeah.
And Elves, I mean, it doesn't prey on mono red, but it also preys on the blue decks, on white Weenie. It, I think, has a pretty good shot against the value piles.
Yeah.
I mean, they have Krag, but nothing else.
But it's a deck that asks you to have it constantly.
Yeah.
Like you get to 5 mana so quick, and then already is the threat of a Avenging Hunter that is usually very swingy.
So I think what I see here is you could either play Elvish Mystic and Timberwatch, or Elvish Mystic and lead the Stampede.
Yeah, I think lead the Stampede right now is the right call, because you are down to 3 cards in hand. So if you want to resolve one thing right now, that's maybe refill.
Unless you want to get Timberwatch online to just start slamming for 5 next turn.
But the Timberwatch usually only gets really good if you have a Quirion, and you don't have that right now.
I mean, overall, you are also asking the Elves deck to, yeah.
Ooh, land.
In another
Timberwatch land. Winding Way.
Wow,
Oh,
the worst. At least another Timberwatch, because I think Timberwatch is still so huge that converting this into another Timberwatch is
oh man,
it's not ideal, but it's definitely better than 2 Llanowar Elves, you know?
That's one of the worst Winding Ways I've seen in a long time, I think.
It hits the most relevant
Stampedes.
Never Hunter would have been the best.
But honestly, at least you don't draw these cards now.
Yeah, and I think here you could see if Eric kept the end in hand, he could have casted it next turn.
Mm-hmm.
So staying down 1 land lower might have paid off. But let's talk Christian, because this is the pickle. With Caw-Gates, you want to resolve Squadron Hawk and Modern Age. Those are your engine cards. You need to resolve those to even get going. And they do that here. Get Squadron Hawk to, in the best case, later do the brainstorm tricks. Same with Modern Age on Sacred Cat or Prismatic Strands. But that means you're not casting Journey to Nowhere, so you're not cutting off the mana here, and you don't keep up Counterspell.
That's tough, and you know that there's a Timberwatch coming.
Yeah. So hopefully Christian has Journey to Nowhere in hand, so they can at least reactively answer Timberwatch Elf. But it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of telegraphing that they don't have Counterspell in hand.
I mean, from the position of, I never played Caw-Gates, but I kind of hate that you want to resolve the Squadron Hawk ASAP if you have it in hand, because also drawing another one is kind of really shitty. Like if you delay that and then draw another Squadron Hawk, that's just, okay. But yeah.
I'm a bit surprised that Christian doesn't have to discard to hand size. Because they played Sacred Cat, but still. Usually if you're on the draw and you keep 7, whatever.
I haven't counted, unfortunately.
I've counted this a lot of times. Okay, so both Timberwatch hit the board. And I think with all the Squadron Hawk stuff going on, Elves is in such an aggressive position, as it plays out here as well, that all this stuff is not really relevant for Caw-Gates anyways, because they just now already have to stop the gas.
There's a Prismatic Strands being drawn right now, so that also helps a lot.
What is the rest? It's
Prismatic Strands
and Journey. There's a
Basilisk
Journey.
Gate.
No, it's Strands.
So chip damage starting to come in. So I guess this is the turn where you just strand.
Yeah.
Get it into the grave for future activations, you know. Let's see what's coming down here. So a lot of mana, probably.
Oh, this is attack.
Or this is attack.
No blocks, I assume. Pump.
Pump, yeah.
+6. Okay, whatever. Christian's gonna get a life here. Prevent all green damage. And board 1 turn. Another not so relevant factor. And what's the other card in the Elf's hand?
That I don't know.
Okay, so Christian is gonna at least buy 1 more turn here with the Strands in the grave.
Yeah, but interesting, you're right. Like, Christian should have blocked with the Sacred Cat to get at least 1 life.
I think they did, no?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
So, let's see. Pump.
Wow, we're attacking in the air.
Yes.
I didn't see that coming.
I think Christian really, really wants to raise them.
Okay, interesting. So you're not really controlling, but yeah, you're playing a tempo game of yourself.
Because you know I cannot answer 2 Timber Watches. I can answer maybe 1. And I have only 1 Strands in the grave. I don't know. I haven't played Caw-Gates at all, so I'm not sure what the optimal lines are. Winding Way.
Another unanswered.
No, that's too much. That's too much.
Okay, these are the good.
That's too much.
These are the good Winding Ways.
And also Masked Vandal to get rid of the journey and stuff. So.
Okay, but right now Christian is sitting on Strands and also the Flying Clock, which I think will help pretty soon.
Yeah.
And so they can buy themselves 1 more turn and then start jumping with the cats. And now, funnily, the pressure is onto Eric already. They cannot answer the Squadron Hawk Basilisk lines, and they will be dead to it at least in 2 turns and 3 turns. Christian could increase the clock by getting another Basilisk Gate down.
Yeah, but that's interesting that the Caw-Gates player now needs to rush. Because right now you've also seen what the Elves player revealed, and there's no way you can answer all of it without a clean board wipe.
Interestingly, generous end. Oh, what happened here?
I think he blocked both of them, and then stranded.
But you could.
Yeah, I think Eric probably pumped only a single one, and not pumped both. Or
Okay,
not
so he
pumped 2.
double pumped the
Yeah,
surviving Lanova. Okay. But this is also huge for Elves because Christian has. Right now, he can pump a Squadron to be a 5/5 with 4 gates in play. So this end is enough to block for the next turn. So this flying aggression is over until... This is an island, I assume?
Yeah.
So...
and you also have to be really afraid from the Caw-Gates perspective of a huge Hydra right now. Because that is also like... I mean, the end right now is blocking the Hawk. But in theory, it can at least get out of range eventually. But if there's also a huge Hydra for something, then this is also trample damage for the attacking, and it's just the whole thing. So I think Christian now preys on the Elf player not finding any sort of trample. And, I mean, the cats can jump for a lot, and there's the top deck Hydra.
So this is top deck Hydra with 12 mana from priests and 4 on the board.
Yeah, it's
a lot.
That's gotta be enough. You know, as a...
Don't get it spell pierced.
As a... Happens.
Yeah.
Does happen. Yeah, so that's, I mean, come on. You probably...
And they also got Timberwatch. This is giga lethal.
Yeah, this is lethal.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about the Timberwatches. Okay, so this is 18 pump from the Timberwatches and potentially like 12 plus from the Hydra. They actually completely tapped out, so Spears would have been online here. Maybe this comes helpful to Christian in the next games that
Erik doesn't play around it.
Erik didn't play around it here and might not in the future.
I mean, yeah, that's come on.
It's 14. It's not 5. It's 14 plus counters. And then Giga Pump just... Okay, we're done with this. Okay, so you can see from a position where Elves had a huge start and then Caw-Gates just did some, wiggling with the flying. Just one good winding way, and the threats of Elves are so good that Caw-Gates needs very specific answers to them.
Yeah.
Unless Caw-Gates has very specific answer, there is no way playing around cards like End, cards like Timberwatch Elf to some degree. Priest of Titania, the 8 draw spells are huge, the Hydra is huge. So now that at least Christian knows the matchup, they will board and mulligan to a playable hand. And let's see if then they can answer this madness.
Post sideboard, this is a much different game, right? Like Caw-Gates, as we can see in the sideboard right now, has access to Breath Weapon, has access to Standard Bearer, has access to one more Thraben Charm. So I think there are way better tools post side. And I think I mean, Christian just plays a single Standard Bearer. So I don't know what the odds are of that being found. But that's at least something, But Elves also gets tools. Like,
I wonder about Guardian of the Guild Pact in the Caw-Gates deck. Maybe this can actually become a mirror breaker, but that's only for the late game.
Yeah.
And I just wonder how Caw-Gates deals with all this stuff. Because a single breath weapon, that's not enough.
Yeah, that's for sure not enough. I think it has to be the combination of answering the board and then answering all draw spells.
Yes.
So I think that's the key. So I guess you as a Caw-Gates player, you have to set up yourself enough to be able to wipe the board once that is in a semi-dangerous state. Like if the Elves player has deployed a lot of threats or even a lot of mana makers, then you have to dig enough, like set up and dig enough to sweep once and then keep open mana constantly to disrupt the draw spells. Because if the Elves player cannot reliably rebuild the board and is doing so only with one creature a turn, I think then you're chilling.
And it's a tough ask to answer the draw spells because you got 4 counter spells against 8 draw spells and 4 Hydras and 4 Hunters potentially. So there's a lot of very relevant targets for counterspell, and you probably can't even choose. You probably have to fire it at the first thing that comes.
I mean, for the Hydra, I think is okay because you still have the Thraben Charms to answer it later.
True, yeah.
So I think you really need to counter only the draw spells or a really game-deciding Hunter or something. But other than that, I think you just need to stumble the Elves player on drawing their cards.
Yeah.
Because then is the Elves player draws even one forest for a turn, that's like a whole turn
Time
lost.
walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. If you keep Elves on 2 or 3 cards in hand and don't get the board completely exploding in the hand, your tools will win or might win the game. Yeah, but as soon as it snowballs, so we have the Elves ball, rough spot. Okay.
What would you bring in on the Elf side? I think there's an argument for Scattershot Archer.
If you want to answer the Squadron
But that's
Hawks.
only the Squadron Hawk, right? Like there's not much more. No, that's not much more flying. So maybe that's too bad.
But not amazing.
Probably the longbow is probably much better.
Viridian longbow. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
can
much
use
better.
this as a tool to answer a lot of the creatures.
Yeah.
It's a 1 mana equipment equipped for 3, And then equipped creature has tap the creature, deal 1 damage to any target. And as it works in Elves and has also worked in Elves for the past 10 or 20 years, I think, is that if you have a lot of mana, you can pass the longbow between your creatures in your turn. True, yeah, and this is what you do.
Hilarious.
If you have 15 mana, you can do actually 5 damage with it every turn. And that way, the creatures of Caw-Gates have 1 toughness, 3 toughness. You can answer all of them.
And he deploys at turn 1.
There we go. And the rest of the hand is Priest of Titania,
Hunter, Lead Stampede, and Lance, I think.
And Generous Antis.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But
okay.
but the longbow, I think, is also a must answer for the standard bearer.
Standard bearer.
Is a 1/1.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, standard bearer.
So this is also the only way you get rid of it, basically. Reliably, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So the longbow really is MVP here. Get to deploy the priest. Okay, so I think Christian started with a Journey to Nowhere in hand, in the starting hand. So there could be an argument to stumble the Elves player on their mana, but I think the Elves player now has 4 mana next turn, so maybe 4 is not the magic number that you want to get rid of, because it's usually 5 for the Hunter.
Yeah, I think you can't afford answering priest here, especially if it's just a Lanuva elf priest right now. Tapping for 1 mana. But Christian, interestingly, has deep analysis. Okay. So, yeah, interesting. I thought Journey to Nowhere you have to save for Timber Wedge.
Yeah, and you're also not, like, as an Elves player, again, if you can resolve your draw spells, you do it. So this is now the moment where the Caw-Gates player has no blue mana available, and you can just play Lead Stampede.
Yeah, and maybe this was also the best line for Christian, because they have Thraben Charm.
And like Lorians, right?
Keep that for Hydra. And otherwise, with the lands they have, they could produce double blue for Counterspell. But apparently they don't have Counterspell in hand, so maybe just slamming this Journey is the best.
Caw-Gates is so awkward to play, man. I even hate seeing this. That you constantly weird mana, states.
Let's say it's a very skill-intensive deck.
Yes, okay, let's leave it like that.
But yeah, sometimes you have these draws where you have Heap Gate, Basilisk Gate, like the greatest cards in the deck, but you don't produce any colored mana.
Yeah.
And then in the early turns, you just have to play what's in your hand. You don't have this luxury of, being this counterspell, Spellstarter Sprite, Brainstorm control deck where you have all the options. No, the first turns you just have to develop your mana, have to develop your engine. But I mean, that's what Christian did. They played Modern Age. They have Deep Analysis in the grave. Now they have double blue with the island. They have Strands. So, and Elves, unfortunately, didn't do anything yet.
Yeah.
So this is the spot you love with the deck.
Yeah. I think it was a mistake from Eric not playing the Lead Stampede. But I think he really wants to get down the Hunter next turn, so maybe that was his line of thought. Yeah, because I think he has 1 more land in hand, and with that, that's 5 mana next turn. So I think in his mind, that's the line how he wins right now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't engage in any long-term value grindy stuff.
But then we could actually even see the Vector Glider stealing it, the initiative.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is also good for Christian, like this.
Having a flyer.
Yeah, if you have a flyer, this is a soft answer to a Hunter, and potentially it just locks the card in hand.
Oh wait, but that's
we're pumping.
Incorrect. But it's summoning sick, no?
Yes, it is.
Ooh, they forgot it. Ooh, yikes.
Oopala.
Oopsie. but tapping out, so he cannot slam his Hunter. Hey, that's fair.
Maybe Eric realized and was just like,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Yeah, no, it can attack, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's fine.
It's totally fine.
Okay.
Totally not gonna play my Hunter now. But I think it's slamming the Hunter here is too risky, honestly. But I think this is the line Eric saw, and this is the line he wants to take. But a flyer on board, so the initiative can be guaranteed stealed back. This is already a bad spot. And then it's basically asking the Caw-Gates player, hey, you have a bunch of answers to this. For example, the most, I guess, like Prismatic Strands or Journey to Nowhere. And there's a Strands, I guess, already in Grave. So the initiative can also be kept for the Caw-Gates player.
Wow, this is a great setup now for Caw-Gates.
I mean, there's currently no white creature to flashback the thing, but I mean, Caw-Gates will
True.
eventually find a white creature. Come on.
And also, I think what will be very relevant, like, is Eric gonna resolve this Stampede in the next turns?
Yes.
And are they gonna get to enough mana to cast this End? Which I think also the answer is yes. But then again, Christian can blow over the End with a pumped Vector Glider. But I mean, Christian for some reason is ahead in the race.
And let's see what he does right now. I think... Does he think about casting a Lorien? Deep Analysis. Okay.
So probably finding...
I think he wants to find a white creature to...
Yeah.
Like a Sacred Cat here would be phenomenal.
But he doesn't find it, so I think he will take a hit from this Hunter, which is still okay.
It's okay, yeah. It's sure. Because you will almost guaranteed get initiative back on the backswing, so...
Yeah. Activate Gate for +4, do 6 more damage. And, okay.
But that's awkward now, because the glider on next turn is... I mean, not lethal yet, but...
Is one of...
Close to lethal.
Yeah.
If you have another Basilisk Gate in hand, that's lethal.
Yeah. I know there will be the End, probably.
True.
Jump block End.
Yeah, jump block End. You don't hear much of that.
I mean, yeah.
And that's, folks, that's why you have an initiative token with you. So you can keep track of who has the initiative.
I think it's a bit rough see this game develop on the back of this hasty Modern Age attack, to be honest. Because this feels like an unnatural board state with Caw-Gates racing the Elves.
Or you can forge onto the End now.
Yeah.
And then it's not jumping anymore.
Unless there's Basilisk Gate object.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Who does that evil thing? But there's a brainstorm in Christian's hand, so he sees 4 cards now. And just one, I mean, not just one of them, but the probability of finding an answer in like 4 cards.
And also you can see now that the Viridian Longbow is really a tool for when you're ahead in the game. And also when the game goes somewhat long.
Yeah.
But here it just does absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but I think this is an unnatural state of the matchup.
For sure.
I think there should have been Elite Stampede resolved, and there should have been more Elves on the board. But Eric just went for the emblem play, basically. So I think there should be a board state where Christian is not allowed to attack every turn with the Vector Glider and just race like that.
And being not allowed by what?
Now, for example, Hydra, for example, like the End that is now there, at least. That's a thing. So I think there should be, or also by a board state that maybe threatens too much lethal.
Yeah, to me it's very interesting how combat heavy this matchup has gone so far. I mean, Erik pushing the advantage with the early attack in both games, actually. Like, both games, as soon as possible, activate Basilisk Gate, swing in the air, which is their only line of attack. And then Erik answering it with the tempo line of Avenging Hunter, deploying initiative instead of Lead the Stampede to find more. I don't know, find more what actually? Find more board state? Find more answers to the Vector Glider? What does Lead the Stampede really do here?
It finds stuff like Timberwatch, more Priest, like more mana.
But what do these cards do against the Vector Glider right now?
Threat more. Like you could have played not Hunter, only Hunter in a single turn, but you could have played Hunter and End.
Sure. But just now, like if we look at the Lead and Stampede in Erik's hand, what are they trying to achieve with it now?
Hydra.
And then play a jump blocking Hydra?
No, the End is already large enough, so you just need to
boost it.
Yeah, you just need to boot something more, or not even only that, but I think it's really unfair, or like unfortunate, let's phrase it like that the Vector Glider attacked one turn where it couldn't, because if you had more life total in the tank, you are the aggressor, and with the Hydra you trample, and then this is a whole different game, you know.
And now, Christian has a white creature in Outlaw Magic, so Strands is online, which is big. And
yeah, that's huge.
So let's see whether they could activate for +5, attack for 7, but makes no sense against this End. Okay, so for now, Erik has stabilized.
Dude,
wow.
we should play Automata, the colorless shapeshifter in Elves, just to get around Strands.
Sure.
I might be putting 2 into my sideboard.
You could also play Lightning Bolt in Elves to get around the Vector Glider. There's a lot of things you could do.
Hey, it's an Elf, you know.
And it's interestingly also both decks are potentially 5-color decks. Elves has the Burklaw Ranger and just Parasentinel to splash for any color they want.
Yeah.
Also, Caw-Gates has Heapgate and the gates themselves that can tap for any color of mana. And we've seen both decks with lots of colors, but I think here both of them kind of play more the basic versions.
You need more mana. Like, I think it's exactly how you said. You need enough mana to triple activate the longbow to kill the glider.
Yeah, if you really wanted this card to flow, then that's the way. I mean, Christian
huge.
has double blue up.
Oh my god, it's...
But is it too late? That's what I wonder.
With the Strands, maybe. Without the Strands, no. But with the Strands, that's like changing the whole combat math.
I think they need at least this turn, the next turn, and then that turn. There, Erik's stuff will be really...
yeah, because Timberwatch taps pumps for 2 right now. And I think if you can deploy both Quirions in a turn, then it pumps for 4, and then with both Quirion activations, it actually pumps for lethal. Like, without a doubt. But so I think the line is right now not die. You know, so probably just attack with the Hunter. But even though you have to threaten lethal
next turn.
No, even this turn. Otherwise, the Strands will not be activated.
Yeah. You need to get rid of Strands.
So I think it's not possible right now for Elves, because you cannot threaten lethal right now. You just can't with the, and that's if you have set up your board otherwise to have more mana available.
Yep.
This would be a whole different game right now, because you could have enchanted. The End. Of course, there's a Flame Charm in hand of Christian, which Erik probably doesn't know about, but...
No, what I see the whole time is if Christian top decks Journey to Nowhere, this game is over. They can just get rid of the End, pump the glider, and swing for lethal. So right now, Erik is really on a thin thread. But yeah, as you said, they can't change much about it. They can present this pseudo-lethal, which is not lethal because of strands.
Yeah.
But that's probably then still the best. Then next turn they can attack for lethal, get the strands out of the way, and then hope that the turn afterwards.
And that's a lot to ask for a flying vector glider that...
Okay, and Christian has action.
So I think Erik passed priority right now, probably.
Christian thinks whether they want to cast Brainstorm or make a treasure, I assume. They could use Thraben Charm on something, but no real use to do it now.
No.
Could do it later.
Yeah. I think that's just such a clean answer to a large Hydra.
You could kill the Timberwatch.
Yeah, but it's not a threat right now, the Timberwatch. It's not a threat at all.
Not at all.
Not at all, no. It pumps for 2.
True. But I mean, play 2 Quirion and a Lanova and...
Yeah, but with the first Quirion on the stack, you can still shoot it, so... And there's a breath weapon even in hand, so that's the cleanest answer, probably.
Okay, so Christian has breath weapon now.
Yeah, and 2 Thraben Charms. Yeah, I think this is... I don't see a way of Caw-Gates losing this right now. Just because...
But they still need to win it. They still need to get through this end. Could be a Journey to Nowhere, could be another Basilisk Gate.
I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... It's just 1 gate. You just need 1 gate. I know it's pumped. It's 4.
It's a 9 toughness and
9 toughness. Okay, so you need 2 more gates.
Yeah, right now they need 2 more gates, or a Basilisk, or a Journey.
And there's nothing in the hand of such. There is a Guardian of the Guild pack. And another Brainstorm.
You could slam that and just kill next turn.
I mean, you could also just Brainstorm and find the win right now.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, Basilisk Gate.
But this is not the win, this is just the forced jump block.
Yeah, but which is basically the win. Because then the enemy needs to deploy another Reacher, or is that the next turn, and you have a Strands that guaranteed survives you the turn. So it's like...
True, yeah.
So I would now deploy the gate, double pump, swing in.
But then you're also tapped out.
But you have a Strands, which is a guarantee, and then there's no removal besides the longbow, which there's guaranteed not enough mana right now.
I mean, I could see scenarios where this feels a bit off to play this line, and I wonder whether that's really necessary to do.
I mean, we haven't talked about the possibility of a Deglammer.
Yeah, I know. Like tapping out in this scenario with 1 creature that can activate a Strands, you're probably going to survive, but I think there is a chance that you are making the board state worse by doing this. And if you just play the Guardian, you have 2 mana up, you're in a way better position with the same result.
Because you're guaranteed lethal anyways next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Without tapping out.
Yeah. You know what, Phil?
Maybe I should play Caw-Gates?
No. Do you know what stops a Guardian? A colorless artifact shapeshifter.
Of course.
So, you heard it here first. In a meta full of Caw-Gates, please sideboard in your automata.
No, don't put this into people's head. I've seen so many like, this beats me, so I need to find the last card in the universe to stop that card from beating me instead of just, play something that wins.
Hey, an elf is an elf. This is all I'm gonna say. Okay, so Erik needs to threaten lethal now, but he knows he's dead on the backswing. So what to even do?
And Christian has double blue and red and white up. So this also presents a lot. I think they don't have counterspell in hand, but it could be. And
real, what do you even do? You know there's a Strands in the grave.
You have to win this turn, and
there's no
it's
way.
Over.
Yeah.
And they probably think about this right now, but unless...
Because you can't get rid of the Guardian. There's like no way at all to get rid of it, right? No. And even a Well-Wisher does not... Like, you have no haste. So, I mean, there's also the possibility
to
of
get
Well-Wisher to just get off reach, but I think that's also not a case.
But with 2 Basilisk Gate, this Guardian is gonna attack for 14 right now.
Guardian doing work.
Yeah, I mean, this is game. Yeah.
And I'm not sure if Eric knows, like, because the Strands was discarded, I think, the very first card from the modern age. So I don't know if Eric is aware that the Strands is still being there in the graveyard.
I think Eric looked at the graveyard
Okay.
a couple of moments ago. But just my reading their body language. And I've seen that the Strands was invisible under the Lorien for some time, but Christian has fixed that, so it is visible. But I have the feeling this is just playing out cards now.
Yeah. I mean, that's that's so satisfying about elves, no?
You can play out a lot of those cards. Yeah.
I play my elf and this elf.
But the cards that Eric is playing right now don't contribute towards... I mean, they increase the elf count, so make the potential hunter attack better. But even the Guardian blocks the... How does trample and protection work?
No, it's
It tramples over.
yeah, it tramples over, I think, because it is. I think protection just says that damage that would be dealt to it is prevented. So
Yeah.
and you still have to assign pseudo lethal damage. That's 3 in this point. So
Yeah. And then the rest is excess damage and... Okay, so we're pumping. We're activating Strands. We name green. No damage is dealt. Christian could have gotten a life here, but doesn't matter anymore. And Christian is free to untap, activate at least once on the Guardian, swing for lethal.
let's see if he pump once happens. Pump twice.
They swing.
He don't even pump twice. Oh, wow. Oh, that's just... Yeah, I would have wondered how the game could have been differently if the Vector Glider didn't attack at the when it couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would that change? But I'm now... I don't even want to think about that right now.
I mean, it's good that you pointed it because unfortunately we reached this board state with this very relevant mistake happening. And if you look at the outcome, I mean, at the end of 5 turns later, this Guardian would have been lethal even if Eric had 8 more life. But the difference, and I think you're pointing to that, is that the way Eric could play to the board, could play into the combat, changed a lot because this Vector Glider presented lethal for a lot of these turns, and if it hadn't, then maybe Eric could have deployed more creatures to set up a better next turn and not be forced into playing the hunter, playing into combat. Okay.
Yeah, I think the decisions along the game were just different based on the life total.
Yes.
And that's very relevant when you are one step before the throne, when you are lethal next turn. Like, at the end of the day, I think a lot of... Yeah. Let's see what the game 3 will bring. Elves on the play. A menace, Elves on the play. You'd love to be Elves on the play.
Elves on the play is the best, unless you mulligan to 4.
Elves on the play against a deck that needs 3 turns to set up.
Beautiful.
Yummy.
Beautiful. 3 turns. What could happen? You could have Lanois, Priest of Titania, Hunter. You could have Lanois, Priest of Titania, Winding Way, and Lead the Stampede. There's a lot of stuff you could have. Quirion Ranger and Timberwatch already attack for a big swing on turn 3.
Plenty of good stuff that this deck can do.
And I think the best overall they can do is just to resolve spells that Caw-Gates has just problems to come back from, and
Yeah.
that I think mainly includes the draw spells, the initiative. Maybe also early Timberwatch and Priest are good. They can be answered by Journey to Nowhere. But yeah, draw spells and Hunter, those can give you an edge that Caw-Gates takes several turns to answer back. But let's see, it's a mulligan to 6 already, I think. So let's hope that our Elves player doesn't have to go down to a 1 forest.
Ooh, but that's a good hand. That's a very good hand. That's an insane hand, actually.
Is there lands in it?
Yeah, there's 1 land and a turn 1 dog. And then 2 Winding Ways.
No mulligan, apparently.
2 Winding Ways and a Quirion, so that's...
That's plenty.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then
we see
drawing
Brains.
another Winding Way, dude. Yeah. Now you tap for 2. No, tap for 2, please. Return your forest. Because now a Winding Way that is guaranteed to resolve is insane. I think Eric now realized that.
I mean, you could argue for just
The Priest?
a priest.
I
They
think
have
the
a
very
priest?
left card is a Priest, but I'm not sure.
No, that's a Timberwatch.
Ah.
But they could just play Elvish Mystic to make a land drop that way. No, but they can do both. They can play...
That's what I'm saying.
sorry.
Yeah.
But then why should they stop playing out the Mystic?
I mean, you could also see what the Winding Way reveals first, so you have more information. Oh, let's see. Eric is really trying to decide. Okay, he wants a tempo route, apparently.
But how is this possible?
No, it's 3 mana. Oh no, is it?
No.
No, it's not, right?
You play Quirion with the forest, and then you have 2 mana left. Ah, no. The Llanowar again, and the forest again. Okay.
Elves math, you know?
Okay, but again, Eric is kind of playing the
Aggro.
board commitment.
Yeah, board commitment, aggro style elves, and not so value oriented with drawing a bunch of cards. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Please name creature. Don't get tempted.
Don't get tempted.
Don't get tempted.
Don't
Just
get
say
tempted.
land,
One
please.
land is enough.
It's plenty with the Quirion.
Yeah. But maybe he also gets tempted because there are 2 more Winding Ways in hand, and he's like, one I cannot afford to throw away. But no, you can't.
You can find End, which is a land drop.
Yep. Let's see. We find land. Lead. Land. Nyxborn.
And fortunately,
Oh my
they
god.
named
The gambling
Oh,
paid
man.
off.
Oh, those have been 2 of the worst Stampedes and Winding Ways I've seen in a long time. But okay, naming forest is actually quite a good Winding Way.
Yeah, I drew you more cards, which is ridiculous. Okay, so there's now... Yeah, one more dork.
Elvish Mystic attack for
5.
5, yeah. Okay, that's a start.
I mean, that's a start, yeah. I think you would have always liked more mana, of course, than the early attacks.
But the good thing is that Christian is on colorless and a gate. So that usually means that they don't have counterspell up in this turn. Yep.
Ooh, but next turn, honestly, if you deploy more elves and with the Quirion, like, isn't Timberwatch almost lethal?
True.
Like, if you have more cheap elves that you can just play to the board.
We've seen it from Jakob playing
Yeah.
against High Tide.
Yes.
Turn 4 kill is definitely possible.
There's now 1 blocker, but of course you can attack with 2 creatures and then you just pump the one that is not blocked. But there are 2 strands in the graveyard.
Yeah, that helps. Okay, maybe this start from Christian is better than I thought. With the strands in the grave and now the hawk that gives them a lot of time.
Yeah.
But then again, Christian is tapped out. And I mean, playing Hunter into a Squadron Hawk Strands board sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
But they got more draw spells, and they can resolve them.
Yeah, but still, I think the start Christian has now shown is
It's one of the better ones.
Yeah, it's one of the better ones. No, like discarding strands, 2 strands, having a white creature on board, not being threatened by like 1 million mana each turn.
But can't you just slam through these strands? You play initiative, attack with something, use Timberwatch to force strands. They are down to 1 strands. You get attacked back. Okay, Christian gets an island. Your turn again. Attack again. Force the other strands. And then you're already in an okay position, maybe?
So Erik now attacks with the Quirion. He doesn't deploy much more, so there's only 5 and in theory 9 damage that is possible. I think he pumped before declaring blockers, but I mean he's gonna pump anyways, so both know that.
And interestingly, here Christian is in the position of, do I even use the strands?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, it's like it's not even so much, It's at maximum 9 damage.
Yeah.
So it's not a lethal swing, and I think you could even afford to.
Okay, but I love this. I
Yes.
think this is the avenue, and they could even play. I think they could have even played Winding Way here.
But I mean, now Breath Weapon off the top is detrimental, right?
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's
No. You can untap Quirion. With Quirion, you can untap Timberwatch
and save
the
what?
Timberwatch.
Save the Timberwatch. Okay.
And I think
There are 2
that's-
Breath Weapons in hand, no?
Yeah, and Christian has set the gate on red already. Okay, so now we're playing Breath
that's
Weapon.
interesting.
Yeah, Breath Weapon against
I love this.
Breath Weapon against Timberwatch and Quirion is really interesting. But yeah, you're right. With Breath Weapon now in the mix, this feels rough for Elves.
I mean, right now you need a white creature, so you cannot play it without playing also. No, you cannot play it right now because you need a white creature. That's really tough.
True.
So you now steal the initiative, get a land drop. No, okay, we have to talk to Christian about this.
Oh yeah, this is. Oh,
we have to
shit.
talk about it.
Twice.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think I think it's just an honest mistake. I think he really thinks that it can attack. And of course, this would not change between games, Like, in his mind.
I thought it was a slip because I assume that playing Modern Age, you flip the thing and you do 1 million things in your main phase and then you just go to combat.
Yeah,
this happened to me before, for sure.
Okay, doing the Breath Weapon now. Erik? No, he's not even thinking about it. Save the president, no.
But also this is... Wow.
This is wild, honestly.
And also Christian now...
What is happening?
Now he's giving definitely the initiative back.
Yeah, and taking 5.
Which is okay.
But there's no answer. Like, maybe doing this with a journey in hand that you can guarantee deploy the next turn is okay. But I don't think there's an answer to the hunter yet. There's no answer to the hunter. Oh my god!
This is the Winding Way you want to see.
Oh my god! But you need more mana. Like, you just need mana. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Wild. Forging onto forge onto the Triumpher. I mean, there is an argument to do something else, but because now you're putting your eggs in a single basket, my friend.
But it's at least a relevant basket. But they hurt you.
That is high,
They
because
hurt you.
I think it's the correct take, because now it survives the Breath Weapon, and you have now a 3 power attacker that cannot get blocked on the other side favorably. So if they find a journey and remove the hunter, you at least have something to work with.
Then again, getting a Lanovar Elf out of Breath Weapon range and presenting a 3/3 attacker is not what's going to make a difference here, whereas more trample damage might. But yeah, I see the line. Don't make it so vulnerable
and
to journey.
And I think you also want to just... I mean, your hand is really good right now as the Elves player. Like
It's insane.
it's stacked. So I think you wanna go more safe, and like if the hunter gets removed, I mean, yeah, you have enough mana to play another one, but
it's also a thin line of being safe, because like one more
forging onto the Vector Glider. Let's go.
But one more Basilisk Gate,
Let's
and
go.
this is lethal.
Let's go. Yeah, the math of the gate stack is so funny, because so much is like, if I play another gate, this is plenty of damage suddenly.
Yeah, and I mean, there's the mind games included of, you don't know how many gates I have in hand.
Yeah.
I do.
So another white creature with a nice LPL stamp. Finding also a Sacred Cat.
But I think importantly, Outlaw Medic, being a Strands activator and a Breath Weapon survivor is crazy good.
That are great taglines for the creature. Outlaw Medic.
Yeah.
Strands Enabler, Breath Weapon survivor.
Should do like a highlights of this deck. This would be exactly its role. Goblin Tomb Raider, laugh at. Okay, so very swingy matchup. I feel like every time one person untaps, it takes 2 spells to apparently swing the favor. And I think this is a huge turn for Elves now. They're now behind a bit again, but whatever they do could change that.
So you have a Masked Vandal to remove the Vector Glider. Is it worth it even? Do you swing first? Like there's mind games around it right now, right? Like if, for example, Christian throws away a creature because he thinks like the glider is safe, but
I mean 100% you have to kill the Vector Glider. It's currently it's 5 damage in the air,
it's too large.
and with one more gate it's 15 damage
in the
air.
It's 4 right now, but yeah.
No, Squadron Hawk plus 4.
Okay,
Glider.
fair.
Right now you take 5. If one more Basilisk Gate, it's 15. So I think there is, unless you have a really forcing line, you want to get rid of this guy.
Okay, blocking, activating Strands on a non-lethal attack just to not let him take the initiative, maybe?
And also Christian is on the second chapter, so next is Trap. So that's another 5.
Ooh.
So any gate right now is 15 damage.
Yeah. But I think I would have let him take the initiative and draw a card of the medic, maybe. Because just threatening the Strands, having it in the graveyard is
No.
Is he gonna slam another hunter?
He has to kill the Vector Glider, otherwise he's dead on board. 1 tapped gate and he's dead on board. And a removal for the Hydra, of course.
Yeah, no way he has a tapped gate, right? Okay, Hunter going to Trapperino.
Okay, and this is unfortunately GG.
So let's see. Untap. But I think the Strands was too valuable to just throw away at this instance.
True, yeah.
Because it's basically I win card, right? Like it's I buy a whole turn at every turn that I desire, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe keeping Elves off the initiative chapters is enough. You yourself getting more initiative chapters. I think if only it was about life count, then probably.
But if you're guaranteed to take it back the next turn,
you take it back. But if you, yeah, true, yeah.
So I don't know.
But I mean, play a tapped gate. Equip the.
I think maybe Christian is just in disbelief that he might have
happening?
lethal right now. He's like, is this really happening? Because I think there's also more card selection in his hand. So he could, if he doesn't have it, which is very unlikely to not have a gate with like 7 cards in hand.
I think I've seen one, but also he could use a brainstorm to find one.
Yeah. I think he's like making double and triple sure right now.
I mean, it's play a tapped gate, pump the hawk to 6 power, attack for 6 plus 4 in the air.
Then trap.
It.
But I don't think there's a gate, no?
This is this is a beachfront, an island. Oh my goodness.
It's no gate, right?
This hurts. You could play Modern Age to dig for something. Does he have Brainstorm still? No.
No.
But I mean,
Deep analysis.
Modern Age discard
cat.
Yeah, or just discard deep analysis.
But I mean, you have to. I mean, you will take the initiative at least, but you also got rid of your strands. You know, and that's why I've been saying don't get rid of the strands. Like, it buys legit a whole turn.
Yeah.
And I think in a non-lethal attack, it doesn't matter. Like, you just hold it back.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It could be that if initiative is involved, it changes a bit. But yeah.
So, of course, with the... But you can't, really. I mean, there's also the argument to pump the medic for the lifelink and still swing in the air. But... because if you swing with everything, then he has to block the medic. Because it would be lethal with the medic also, right? If you now pump and attack with all creatures, it would be lethal, so he has to block with the hunter. So the hunter is getting rid of. You have lifelink, so you gain life, and you take the initiative. So that's also
that's
a
huge.
line.
That's huge, actually. Yeah, but you gain 4 life, go to 10, and then you also now you have 3 mana up, and you need to survive whatever comes.
But is it even like, how many gates are there? I don't even know. Is the very left one a gate?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's you would attack for
10. No, for 11. No, for 10.
Yeah, for 10, right?
Yeah. Now
1, 2,
okay,
3,
Christian
4,
decides to attack
5.
for 5.
I think you should have full swing to force the block. Then you gain 5.
I'm not sure whether Christian realized that with the trap they do 5 damage here, because I missed this a lot, and then sometimes you don't even think about swinging, or you don't realize that they are virtually at 10 life and not at 15.
And for elves, I would say it's the same thing. You have a non-lethal attack right now with an initiative trigger that does not really matter too much right now in the current state. So maybe you just hope that the opponent doesn't have anything. You just let it through and then bestow a Hydra and swing with everything.
Yeah, that's the thing about this attack. It doesn't force anything.
Yeah, it doesn't force anything.
You can just take it.
Yeah, dude, I think the right play would have been attack with everything, pump the medic.
But the problem is, if you do that, then you're right. Eric has to block with the hunter, but then they untap with a hunter and a 3/3 Lanova elf. That's already 8 damage. And Christian has to survive this swing. And I don't know, maybe they have an answer to Hydra. Maybe they don't.
But in the end, you're just doing the worst version of that right now.
Yeah.
So this is the worst version because you even tap out. And
but now you can block the Lanova, so you're kind of...
No, because the Lanova will get trample.
Okay.
Yeah, the Lanova will get bestowed now, so...
I think probably Christian didn't see the line that you saw.
It's much...
I don't see much that speaks against it.
It's much easier just sitting here, laid back, with you on a cozy Sunday afternoon.
Not on minute 45 in the stage 2 of the Lega.
They're in the third overtime turn. So it's like... I think the nerves are real right now.
Yeah, and let's look at Elves, though, because they have to... they can win next turn. But they have to survive the next turn of the Caw-Gates.
Exactly. That's tough. That's tough. And that's...
And now things changed because now killing the Vector Glider does not do enough anymore.
Okay, let's say you exile the Glider. There's 3 toughness on the opponent board with 1 lifelink, so pseudo 4 toughness.
Mm-hmm.
Your hunters attack for 10. That's even unblocked not enough. If you have to spend 2 mana to remove the Glider, then you only have Bestow for 1. So that's a 4/4 trample mana elf. So that would be in total 14 trample damage. And that's 1 off, right? 14, and they have pseudo 4 toughness. So that's exactly 1 off. No? Am I getting this correct?
I only pseudo followed you.
Okay, so I think Erik with a Masked Vandal and Bestowed Hydra is 1 off if he doesn't have 1 more forest.
But how is the Hydra? How does the Hydra push it to 14 damage?
It's 10.
And you play it on the Llanowar?
Yeah, of course,
Ah,
of
okay,
course,
okay.
of course.
Okay.
Because you need to trample.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's 1 off, and I think there's no land in hand right now, so... And I think that's the best thing you can do, because that's the only thing that has impact without being summoning sick right now.
Yeah, and it's a bummer that Erik is now sitting on this beautiful hand, but just has not enough time to deploy it. Like, imagine Timberwatch and Wellwisher being in play.
There's also, by the way, the argument to just play 2 Hydras without bestows, just as a reach blocker. Like, for real. Because you swing in with the Hunters right now. They are guaranteed to connect in one way or another, so the next turn is guaranteed lethal. So maybe you honestly just deploy the Hydras as blockers.
I mean, you are forced to do this right now, because otherwise you are dead. But no, you're not. 1 reach blocker right now is still enough. Unless Caw-Gates has removal, which you have to assume.
And I know that Caw-Gates has a Breath Weapon in hand, which is tragic, but Breath Weapon they cannot play because they would clear their own board.
Oh my goodness. This is so stupid.
I love this game and I love this board state. This is hilarious. If you have full information, you just know what's going on. It's like... It's ridiculous. But yeah, I think Christian is now bitten in the ass by wasting his strands. Still, I think that was real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything, like, he could be so chill right now if he had 1 more strands.
Probably true, yeah. Okay, but with the information Erik has, they can see that if they have no reach blocker, they're dead. If they have 1 reach blocker, maybe that 1 reach blocker is enough to jump block the pumped hawk that's presumably gonna come in. And if they have 2 reach blockers, then they're gonna survive a removal and a pumped hawk attack. So what is better than doing that? Or is there even anything they can do besides that? Okay, they can play Wellwisher.
I don't think that's correct.
But you could play just 1 Hydra and Wellwisher, not play around removal, and then next turn... But Wellwisher doesn't help you.
No, Wellwisher doesn't at all help you.
The Christian only gets 1
more attack, 1 more turn. Yeah.
Okay, and now the battlefield even disappears in the fog.
And it's gonna stay like that. I know I had a camera issue, so we have to now look at this through this. He's blocking with the cat. The Llanowar elf.
Okay. I mean, everyone can see can see what's happening here, right?
So that's 2 toughness. So 9 damage from the trampler come through, and 1 life is gained. Oh no, 10 damage and 1. So Christian is now on 2 life.
We're switching to podcast now.
Yeah, he's on 2 life. He untaps. No, Erik. No. I think Erik scoops.
They see no way out of this. So I think Erik just didn't see the opportunity to play out the Hydras.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's very unintuitive that X can be 0.
True, yeah.
But I think, to play around a Breath Weapon, you could even use, instead of playing the Wellwisher, Bestowed onto the Masked Vandal. So it's guaranteed save for a breath weapon.
So one of them survives. Oh, and that also helps against Journey to Nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. But that's out against Journey and breath weapon, but not against Thraben Charm, for example. But you cannot do everything. But yeah, I think bestowing onto the Masked Vandal would have maybe been the best thing.
True, yeah.
But still, damn. But I think, honestly, if you're in the second to last overtime turn on this game, you're already smoked in the head. Like, it's...
I mean, and I'm amazed at Christian's ability to pressure Eric so hard with the gate activations that Eric could not lay out their hand.
Yeah.
Like, the hand was insane. If you have earlier double Timberwatch or Well-Wisher or just get the Hydras down, I don't know. There's only so much Christian can do, even with this great start of Squadron Hawk and double Strands in the grave. Unfortunately, this tempo by Christian also came by the haste Vector Glider attacks. We have to tell him, this is probably he didn't know or didn't realize during the games. I mean, for the second stage, what a huge game.
Yeah, and I'm even more hyped to play Elves now. I desperately want to try it. Like, it looks so fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
It looks so fun.
Yes, it is.
Nice. GG. And I think that's going to be game 3 now. All right. So Christian got to keep his seat. And he's now paired against Max. With, of course, his Maxite Burn. And this can be a very quick one or a slow one. Well, but we don't know yet how it's gonna turn out. I have missed who won the die roll. Of course, very relevant. There we see the cards. Christian had a turn 1 start, and now there's a turn 1 Tomb Raider.
Okay, Max is scripting it. It's the blue altered version again. This looks like a scripted turn 1. At least it's on the draw, not on the play. And I think, this game will be decided in the first 5 turns, is my prediction.
Yeah, I mean, you as a Caw-Gates player, you know how hard that deck needs to set up. There's now 1 mana open, probably for a brainstorm or something to find an answer.
And sometimes, and maybe even just because there was no untapped land.
I don't think... Is Max missing a land drop?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The god, dude. Keeping a 1-lander again, bruh.
But this is big one. Okay, they find...
They're also looking for lands, right?
Yep. And this is looking like a pickle now for Caw-Gates.
Yeah, they only have Lorien to search for lands, but they have no other land at all.
And they have a medic in hand?
So putting...
And this means turn 3 they have no land, turn 4 they have no land. They have a Lorien.
Yeah, I thought they have Loriens but no lands. But I mean, that's still tapping mana to find a land, right?
But this is good. Now they have what they need is 2 mana to get something going, and that could be Counterspell, that could be Journey, that could be Modern Age, and the best, of course, would be a Medic.
Yeah, Medic would be great. But maybe here you even just keep open Counterspell mana, because if the opponent finds a second land, that's usually the grab the prize snacker kind of play. Because you do not keep a 1-lander with these 2 creatures. Like, you keep a 1-lander with higher hopes.
Yeah, but I think with 3 power on the board, that's like you cross the... What happened?
No, he upkeep cycle.
Okay. This is 3 damage on board is enough so that Caw-Gates needs to answer it. If Caw-Gates now passes back with Counterspell and Max just does nothing, this is bad for Caw-Gates.
Okay, fair. And there's the Journey.
This is one of the better lines.
Max just kills the Tomb Raider, you know? Like he's just, you know what? Swing for 1. I think Max might have not drawn another land. I think he now... Imagine if there was a second land, but yeah.
It will come eventually.
Eventually, yeah. But if you give enough time to Caw-Gates, then...
But what Max did on the first 3 turns is kind of what you need to do. Get them to 13.
You could now deploy the Guardian as an eternal blocker. Yeah.
If you have nothing better, then this is all you get, yeah. I mean, if you play against one land, it's actually huge.
Yeah, and against such a combat-heavy deck, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Is Max gonna win with a 1-lander? Come on.
And interestingly, Max is not swinging to deal this one last combat damage.
I mean, the Clockwork, I think... this is a signal for Christian, because if you do not swing with the Clockwork, you need it as an artifact.
Makes sense.
So there's more Gulf Blast in hand.
But probably Christian would have blocked the Epicure to not give him an extra flip for a land.
Yes, true. Or if he wants to disable the Gulf Blast, maybe, but probably not. Probably that's just a losing game. But yeah, that's an interesting read, because if you don't attack as a red player, what's going on, you know? So I think the only reason is there are more Gulf Blasts in hand and you want to deploy them safely.
Could be, yeah.
Because otherwise I think there's no reason to not attack.
But I think combat is over now, and that's the issue for Max.
Yep.
Now Christian keeps up.
Land.
And Christian has the Journey in hand, I think, and what else?
Counterspell from the very start, I think.
Counterspell from the start, okay.
Oh, I think. I'm not sure, but...
yeah, but now Counterspell is the best thing you could have.
Yeah.
The board is stabilized, and as you said, countering now the draw spells.
You cannot deploy a draw spell right now if you're Max. You can plot the... If you have a robbery, you can maybe plot it to overload the next turn for lethal. But... otherwise, you can maybe just do some chipping. There's also an argument to not play the land and just do a chain lightning phase first to kind of fake that you don't have it, you know?
But plotting robbery, I think, is...
Yeah, I think plotting a robbery would also be great right now. Because there's also no gate right now. So
but
no
maybe
Basilisk gate.
Maybe Max wants to keep open Lightning Bolt in case Christian has
the
Basilisk gate.
Basilisk gate.
And that's also probably correct. That's more important than plotting robbery.
But I think...
It's a bummer because this really ties Max's hands.
Oof. I think Max is basically just saying, if you don't have a Basilisk gate, you lose.
Which is true.
Yeah.
One counterspell can probably not protect this 5 life.
And there's also the counterspell has been played already. Okay, he top decks another counterspell. 2 journeys in a counterspell. So that's no bueno.
That's no bueno.
Ugh. Yeah. And Max is really forcing Christian.
But I mean, from the Caw-Gates perspective, there's nothing you can do. You can play Journey on the Clockwork. Probably swing for 1 with the cat.
Yeah. That's all you can do.
And then keep open counterspell.
He even passes. I think attacking probably makes more sense because you need the 1 life maybe. Because there's no... A Gulf Blast and a Bolt right now is lethal.
I think the only reason... unfortunately, they kept the Heap Gate open.
Max is just like, come on, Bolt you.
Yeah, I mean, Max knows what's going on here, and I think you have to counter this. Otherwise, you're just in prison lock forever.
Yeah, and the board is not really of concern because you have the Guardian. So I think I think you should have countered the burn spell because now you're dead to basically everything.
And you have to keep up the counter spell now all the time.
Yeah, you're also.
And you have no card selection, so you have no Brainstorm, no Modern Age to dig for your Basilisk Gate. You kind of have to top deck it now. And without Basilisk Gate, I don't see a way to get out of this.
So now he has to counterspell that because it's lethal, of course.
Max could have done this in the upkeep.
True. Yeah, that must be over, right? Like, I think there's another journey, but what is that gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, attacking last turn with the cat. Christian is at 3, now at 4.
He would be at 4.
So yeah, one life gain missed.
But I think and Squadron Hawk. Okay, so I would probably have not played that just because you just now, as a red player, you know the entire hand of the enemy because it's only Squadron Hawk.
But Max plays into anything anyway, so what the hell? No, I agree with playing Squadron Hawk here.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, correct play over bluffing.
Okay.
But is it gonna save them? That depends on Max cards.
I think Max doesn't have anything right now. Otherwise, he would not cut the deck. He would just show a bolt. Damn. So one more turn to find the Basilisk Gate. Because the Basilisk Gate right now would be huge. And there's a Basilisk Gate. Phil, we have a problem.
Max has a problem, but no, he doesn't have bolt in hand. Otherwise, he would have played it. So yeah, this cat is gonna connect for 5.
No! Oh, that's bad.
Oof.
Oh, that's really bad. Because there's also a blocker for the snacker. So you read, but still, you know that the Caw-Gates has no, like, you know the entire hand at least. There's no counter magic whatsoever. So if you find another draw spell, maybe you can find the stuff you need.
I wonder why Max didn't crack the blood. For that reason, probably. Temper.
I think there's a robbery and a temper, maybe.
Yeah, you can sculpt 6 damage out of that.
Yeah. What do you need? Like,
yeah,
one more bolt, huh?
I mean, do you crack the blood here to throw the temper, or do you? No, you play the robbery and then.
But there's also an argument: if your enemy doesn't get to pump the cat, you're also winning. No, you're not winning, but you're not losing.
But you need to find one bolt here to finish the game.
Yeah, but one bolt is not so likely.
But you can keep the temper back up. I mean, playing the robbery here is...
If you have a land, you would probably just play land, plot robbery, and keep the...
No. But Max is gonna top like a lightning bolt. I already know it.
Land. Yeah, that's because if the cat connecting is what's troubling, right?
But there would have been a line where you see whether you have lethal, and then decide whether you want to bolt this cat.
Wait, did Max do it wrong?
I don't know.
Did he draw? He didn't draw first, I think.
No. He explained it in the first matchup. But
oh no, because that is now huge. If you knew you draw 2 lands, you have to bolt the cat.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh my.
Okay, so now Christian is gonna go to 8.
Oh my god. The nerves on the table, bro. Yeah, that's over. Like, the Maxite version cannot do 9 damage easily with, like, 3 lands in hand.
It's possible. It's rough.
He could have also used the blood token, but I think he wants to keep it for the Gulf Blast. Wait, is that an end to festivities? Because that would be fucking ridiculous. Yes, it is.
Okay, that's a nice one. Oh, wow. And now off the blood he finds a grab the prize or something. Snacker connecting.
What?
I didn't see that coming.
What? That is I
That's
don't even know
something.
what to say right now.
But also, does Christian have no lethal with the Guardian on the backswing? The Snacker can block the Guardian, by the way.
Yes. I think that's why Max is holding it back right now. Oh, he doesn't, of course.
No, but
Faces the place.
unless Christian has another Basilisk, it's not lethal.
4. It's 1 off lethal. Because if he just needs any gate, then it's 7 damage.
Oof.
Yeah.
True. But it's 1 top deck.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
1 top deck. I mean, what can go wrong?
It's 8 out of 40 cards. Oh, yeah. And it's true that these 2 damage of the Snacker
They make
it
a
look
difference,
way
yeah.
better.
They make a difference.
Because the Snacker is going to attack next turn again.
What is this game? What is this game?
I predicted this would be end on turn 5, and now Max grinds it out after being stuck on 1 land for 4 turns.
The end of festivities is just insulting.
It's a card.
Yeah.
But I mean, Christian
Yeah, down to 1, 2, 3.
Christian
4,
played with
5.
hands tied. Then actually, like, how did they stabilize this?
Did I miscount? I think a gate off the top would have been lethal, by the way.
Top deck
Ooh, Medic is...
Top deck Basilisk Gate, I think, was. We go face. But yeah, at 1 life, it doesn't matter anymore.
He just needs 1 damage, right? Oh my... That is illegal, bro. Illegal. I think also Max is realizing, like, I should have not won this game. I should have not won this game.
But why not? What do you mean? It was just for the top deck of Christian. Like, top deck Basilisk Gate for Christian. That was the only thing that kept Christian in the game in the first place.
I think the mistake of the robbery and going face with the thing is kind of... Like, if you don't... Like, the Anti-Festivities top deck was just the insane swing. But if there's would have been any other burn spell, it would have looked completely different. Because he would have still had the flyers for lethal damage now.
Yeah.
So I mean, of course, what if he has a card? What if he doesn't? You know, like, it's Magic the Gathering, but...
But how does it work with... If you play the robbery, you decide to... and then you decide the target later.
No,
Okay,
it's
yeah.
you
Yeah.
you know, yeah, okay. For the people following at home, I will still explain it. So it's not additional cost for robbery because it says when you play this, discard a card or sacrifice or blah blah blah. And if you do draw 2 cards, so that's like 1 block of text that is done, and only after the whole block of text is done, the madness trigger resolves.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why that's why Highway Robbery is an insane card. You can plot it. You have so many modes to choose from, and you don't even have to discard as additional cost. It's like this card is doing literally everything.
But I think game-wise, Christian had a really, really lucky top deck in Basilisk Gate to even get back into the game, and then Max countered it with, maybe an even more lucky top deck of End the Festivities. But I think all good. I mean, we've seen that what Max deck can do, even on 1 land, if Caw-Gates has this suboptimal opening line.
But we have to say, no strands and 3 journeys in the first 9 cards or something. That's also, as a Caw-Gates player, come on. That's not good, right?
But if you're in the dark, game 1, you don't know what you're playing. This hand is pretty decent against a lot of decks. Just having no medic is the only thing that it's missing.
Yeah.
But I want to see how Christian adapts after sideboarding.
Yeah, so what's the sideboarding? Of course, you bring, as a Maxite player, you bring in your Red Elemental Blasts. do you bring in more of the like sweeping kinds of effects? Like, do you bring in Cast into Fire to remove the, or do you bring in Suplex to exile the medic or something?
I don't believe in this. It's I think it's too narrow of an upside, and 2 mana cards. I just don't think this is where Max wants to be. Red Blast for sure. Also Relic. You're starting to fight battles that you just want to raise, I think.
Yeah, I think also the Relic doesn't make too much sense, maybe.
And I mean, if you already have the End the Festivities, then I think that's way, way better than Cast into the Fire. And Suplex, yeah, I think it's too narrow.
And what is Caw-Gates bringing in?
I mean, for sure, 2 Breath Weapon, 2 Hydroblast, and then you could think about Relic against the Snackers, but I don't think you do that here. And you could think about Dust to Dust, but I also don't think you do that here.
Dust to Dust is way too expensive. Do you bring in 1 Frame Charm?
I think also answering creatures 1-for-1 is not where you want to be.
I mean, it can like exile the graveyard, I guess. So it's like multi-purpose in this matchup, but...
Yeah, but going down a card and 2 mana to answer Snackers, you need to rely on Breath Weapon and countering the draw spells to achieve the same.
Okay.
Like I think that's the argument Caw-Gates has here in the matchup, that they have some plays that answer so many cards at once that you have to maneuver the game there. Like Sacred Cat plus Basilisk Gate, or something with Prismatic Strands. But as soon as you start casting Journey to Nowhere on a Tomb Raider...
Ooh, Max brought in the Relic and he's gonna play it.
Okay.
So he wants to... But he said previously that this version of the deck is supposed to grind a little more. It's not so explosive. And I think maybe in the grinding matchup, he thinks that the Relic will come in handy enough times that it's worth including. Because if you can exile a cat and a strands or something, like that's already value generated in a longer game. But the turn 2 medic is also yikes.
This is where you want to be. I think the upside of Relic is there, but already if you compare this start of Max with the one he had in the last game, to me this doesn't look convincing.
Yeah, bolt the medic.
Okay, so Christian does not have a Blue Blast in hand or Spell Pierce, so medic gets answered.
Already checking if Max can play a draw spell next turn, you know? He's like, hey, I show you this bolt if you don't counter it. Now, of course, like with an island now, there's the possibility of a real counter spell, of course, but... So I see a Basilisk Gate. I see another medic. Yikes. And I think it... Vector Glider. Or like Modern Age, however you wanna... Yeah, Modern Age. Okay. So tapping out. Red player maybe with 3 mana open. What's the worst that they can do?
Everything.
Probably draw spell into Temper or draw spell into Snacker or... but as you can see, the avenue for the Snacker is closing, right? Like a 2/3 Vector Glider blocker is
You can
real.
bolt that.
Or you can even Red Blast it.
Yeah, I think Vector Glider is a tough one against Mono Red. I mean, Christian is on the play at least, but this card takes a lot of time to deploy and then is very vulnerable to a lot of stuff Mono Red has. I assume they have nothing better, or they are digging.
But resolving a grab the price Temper is insane right now.
Yeah, I think board presence is still the best you can do
Yes,
at this
yes,
stage
yes.
of the game, but yeah, the next best thing is drawing all these cards.
So let's see what Christian is able to discard, if there's any value. But looking at their hand, I don't think there is anything of value from the discard to graveyard perspective.
And you saw them having a medic.
Yeah, I think they have a medic, a journey, Basilisk Gate that they're not going to play, brainstorm.
Okay, so then they assume they did not play it last turn to set it up properly.
Maybe they want to actually resolve the medic with a counterspell backup.
Yeah. Because if they can protect it now and next turn activate, this is their soft lock over the game.
Yes, exactly. Then Max suddenly has to really fight to deal as much damage as he's gaining every turn.
Yes, and he has to fight over this
Yeah,
medic.
he boarded the suplex, dude. I'm telling you, it's to exile the medic. I think it's. He said he wants to grind, so he's bolting. And now if there's no. Oh my God, Max is so.
This is
he's
stupid
disgusting.
now.
He's disgusting. Like, hey, if you have a counter, do it now. I will exile it. If you do.
But this is only blue blast. He's only checking for blue blast. Unbelievable. This is completely unbelievable.
Max, I love you. Seriously. No, it's a sorcery. It's a sorcery, my bro.
Yeah, I mean...
Hä? What happened?
What is going
Hä?
on?
What happened?
You have to have the
Hä?
card.
Wait, what? Hä? Wait, one moment. What happened? So...
It's spell pierce. This is
it's a spell.
pierce.
It looks like a blast, no?
Yeah, but this is spell pierce. Okay. Max paid 2 mana for spell pierce.
Oh my God.
And Christian draws a card because it dies. Okay, and now Max has suplex backup for the Vector Glider, for example, which is decent.
Oh, it looks so much like a blast. Like the...
I mean, they realize what it is. So it's fine. Interesting bait play by Max.
But I think that's... How crazy is that Max did that?
It's super crazy, but I don't even know if it's correct with only... If Christian has only blue and colorless up, that means he needed kind of to top deck the blue blast last turn for this line to make sense. So from what Christian did, I would have not put him on blue blast. But who knows?
Yeah, and if the suplex gets countered, you can still bolt afterwards.
Yeah, I think it looks like a crazy good line if you really know they're on blue blast and they will play it. But otherwise, I think it's even probably a call to do it the other way around.
Yeah. I mean, at least the suplex has another target, so...
True, but the best target is the one that draws the card.
Yeah, of course. Ooh,
Okay.
Christian revealing with the brainstorm a lot of counter magic, actually. So there's a hydro being drawn. There's a counter spell on top of the deck.
I couldn't read that.
No,
I'm sorry.
What does it say? Oh no. Max, please.
Right, more clear.
Yeah, right.
Okay, but importantly, Max has got around this soft lock, which is the medic plus gate.
Yes.
And so now Christian is at 11 life for now. But to solve the game and to solve the board, he has to, again, find life gain plus Basilisk Gate. Otherwise, racing mono red, I mean, this is... Maybe we can think about that in 2 turns, but...
Yeah, I think Max right now is chilling. I'm wondering why he doesn't activate the relic the whole entire game, because it's it's not only for cracking, you know? You can also strip cards one by one, so you eventually maybe don't even have to crack it.
No, it's just there to Feel smart sideboarding. It's not there to activate.
No, it's just to keep Metalcraft alive, you know. It's the only purpose. Okay, so I think... Okay, there's one Heap Gate, so there's one blue mana in theory open right now. And I think Max is gonna play the Suplex now to keep swinging in.
Yeah, but this Relic has really proven, I think, its place in the matchup. The upside you get from it is not worth it lying around for 4 turns.
Yeah. I mean, at worst, you can pseudo-cycle it, you know?
But that's not what you want to do in this matchup. You really want to do 10 damage by turn 4 and close the game and not chill around and give Caw-Gates more time to draw their outs.
Max, dude.
Okay. Proving me wrong, of course, with Metalcraft. Yeah, here we go.
I love it.
What is going on?
He didn't know that it makes blue mana. He didn't know that it makes colored mana. So he thought he has lethal, but like guaranteed lethal, but...
Okay, but he played both these cards.
Yeah, he played both of them, so... No! What are they doing?
Check Vaxi Magic? Max has priority, so he can put 2 Gallblast on the stack.
Yeah, he can. Yeah. He technically can.
And now he took it back. Okay. Judge.
Oh my. Yeah. It's only fair, you know. It's only fair. You show 2, so you will play 2. Okay, so 4 life. No lifelinker inside. And also no haste. So there's guaranteed multiple turns for lifelink to come down. So probably the best thing to draw is a Strands, because it has immediate impact.
Blue Blast also decent.
Of course, yeah. Cheap counter magic, also really good.
Yeah.
And there are 2 Hawks and 2 Blasts in hand, right?
2 Blasts is real good to win time, but everything evolves around lifelink.
No, but there cannot be 2 Blasts because they have only 2 in the sideboard. So I don't know. One unknown. Maybe that was the real counterspell. Yeah, I think it's the weird printing of the real counterspell.
So I think that buys Christian 2 turns. But they have no way to dig.
Yeah, it's still looking not good, right?
I think they have to start swinging in the air.
But if you activate the gate now... Yeah, okay, you activate the gate.
Take 2 damage. That's rough.
Yeah, I don't think there's a clear way. I think you have to just pray that the red player is drawing really bad cards. Okay, Suplex on the Vector Glider, which we talked about previously. Of course, it's Japanese, so...
Max is reading it in Japanese right now.
Yeah.
I think you have to counter this.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes only sense to pay 2 mana for it.
Do you counter that on the stack? Because otherwise it will draw a card or swing in.
I mean, I think Max is now playing fast to mess with Christian. Redeciding.
Oh, I'm not sure.
But that's why I thought to attack in the air last turn. Because the difference is if you put Max to 15 life, then you have outs to kill him next turn. And now Christian has to survive this board state, so every turn he gives Max is increasing the problem.
Okay, but I think you should counter the Epicure now. No. I'm not so sure, but do you counter stuff that's non-lethal?
You have to counter Epicure because it cycles.
The Relic also draws a card at the end step, probably. So there are Max now sees 3 cards basically to find 3 damage.
Yeah.
But there's still 1 Hydro. But the problem is, you need to dig for a lifelinker now.
And then be lucky.
Yeah, you need to have the lifelinker and be lucky.
Yeah, I think last turn swinging in the air and then counter everything, and I think you're in a better position than now.
So probably putting back the 2 Hawks because there's a Breath Weapon drawn, so you can Breath Weapon and Hydroblast.
Really?
Yeah. So that's decent, I would say.
That's more than decent.
But still, you're only swinging for 2, I guess.
Or you even keep it back. Yeah, you probably keep it back to block a haster.
But you have a Breath Weapon, so... I mean, it's very telegraphing that you have a Breath Weapon, but I mean...
to do it in their step, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, see.
That's a hard spot to be in because you're also a little bit brainstorm locked right now. Like, you have another brainstorm, but it's only seeing 1 more card.
But don't you have another Hawk on the top deck?
Yeah, I guess next turn you play the Hawk, draw the other Hawk, then... He's proactively Breath Weaponing here, which I don't think is correct. I mean, I can't imagine that it's correct, right?
Yeah, there's no upside, really.
So, because now you cannot swing with the Vector Glider. Now you have to keep it back for the Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm.
And another card drawn, and if you cycle... Oh, there's another relic.
Okay, yeah.
Phil,
Thanks for proving the point.
I do see your I told you so face, but you know what? It cycles.
Yeah, and it's gonna find a bolt. Snacker. Oh,
I
that's good. The relic can activate the snacker.
I would have first cycled the relic, probably, for 2 mana.
But...
What do you mean?
I thought you used the blood with all the...
No, you cycle the relic because it cycles by itself.
Ah, that you mean.
Yeah.
Leave the blood in play.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Because you're not threatened. The opponent doesn't gain life. You don't have to necessarily push lethal right now.
But this is interesting now. Like, robbery on the stack. Do you counter this and be dead to a bolt? Or do you... Yeah, Max points at the 1 card in hand. You want this or this?
He's such a red player,
But
you
that's
know.
interesting. He...
Now this would come back, he
now
said.
with the blood gun... Now with the blood gone...
There's no Metal Craft?
No, there's no... He has a temper in hand.
No, it's a relic.
Huh?
I told you, it's a relic.
I thought it's a temper.
I think I would have played this differently. I think I would have cycled the relic for 2 mana.
Yeah, you also have to do that because now the relic is gonna
Exactly.
eat the snack.
Exactly.
No. Okay, everything that's bad about relic in one matchup.
So if you... What is he searching for, by the way?
Bold.
But he has no mana.
I'm still searching for bold. You know?
Yeah, but you can then do it in the end step. Why is everybody doing it in their fucking main phase?
That you mean.
Why is everyone main phase instant speed interaction?
I mean, if it would work with Snacker, then that would be the reason to draw the 3rd card. But of course, this can't be the reason.
Oh, hilarious stuff. Okay, deploying the Hawk, clearing the top. So now you have a brainstorm to find more cards.
Oh, man.
But you need to find that. You're also screwed on colored mana. Like, you don't have so much colored mana. So you invest 1 blue for the brainstorm. You basically need to find a counterspell.
He's pumping.
He needs a lifelinker. He needs a lifelinker with a counterspell backup, no?
Agreed, but I think he's just going for 2-turn clock. You don't have a bolt.
Because he has 2 Basilisk Gates.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is this?
What is this game?
Does Max have a bolt? He has a snacker and
2
a snacker.
snackers. He has 2 snackers in hand.
And Christian has double basilisk, no?
Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's plus 10.
And this is not mind gaming
And
anymore.
this is lethal.
Because,
This is lethal.
yeah, and if Max has a bolt, you have to activate twice.
Yeah, if you activate twice, oh my god.
It
Don't tell me
would
that.
make no sense to not activate now, does it? If Max has a bolt,
Yeah.
it goes face.
Exactly. I mean, otherwise, you could threaten, like, oh, I have a strands, you know? Like, oh, if you bolt, I will respond to strands. But I think the chance of that, and you know that also a Gulf Blast is not lethal, so it has to be Lightning Bolt. And there are, I don't know, 1 or 2 out already? Or 1? Or 2? 2, I think, right? 1 or 2? So I think you have to threaten it now. Come on, you have to threaten lethal now.
I mean, yeah, you do it on the Vector Glider, see what happens. If he doesn't react,
then he has nothing. Probably.
he could still have a Red Blast and...
But now you do it on the Hawk, I think.
No.
Why not? Because a Blue Blast on the fully pumped Vector Glider?
Yeah, true, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, 1-1.
No, I would have just kept the Hawk back and just double pumped the Glider. But
I
whatever.
think the Hawk was required for lethal.
Was it?
Okay, so on the play, you for sure take out the relics, no?
In general, you take them out.
But
I mean, this was a game without cats and strands, to be fair. But the only thing you're getting, like the best case scenario, if you lay down the relic, you're making a line worse for the opponent that's already pretty bad. Like, if they jump with a cat, get it in the grave, and you answer it this way, you answered half a card. Like, imagine a red spell, 2 mana, draw a card, answer half a Sacred Cat. That is not amazing.
I guess, but on the other side, even one lifelinker would have completely ruined the game. At every stage. Right? Like in the past 4 turns, even one lifelinker would have been insane. And answering like cats twice is maybe...
But you also have to imagine what Max took out to have this
I don't
relic
know
in
that. Yeah, that would be very interesting to actually... What did you cut from the deck?
And it must have been a...
Let's see.
like a burn spell or a creature, for sure. Or a draw
Wait,
spell.
He didn't take in the blasts. I think the blasts are still in his sideboard. Maybe he took out an Epic Cure or 2.
Or some draw spells.
Yeah, there's Grab the Prize, Epic Cure, and Clockwork, I think.
And if you leave out the Red Blast, that's basically stating that he only wants to fight the white cards.
Yeah.
I mean, heavily, apparently, with the 4 relics now in the deck.
Maybe that's correct, because you, like the Breath Weapon, you cannot answer anyways, and you only care about lifelink and nothing else.
I mean, I think the statement you make is that I'm going to beat you in the late game, and in game 2, you saw the game that developed out of this, and I don't think it's a mono-red position to be in this matchup.
Yeah. Let's see if Christian can... But I mean, he had to answer with the burn spells the 2 medics that was. But no Sacred Cat, fortunately. Because Sacred Cat is a real bummer, I think, for the deck. Like, without Lava Dart, a Sacred Cat is always...
Yeah, and Strands is also...
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think Max kind of needs to convert these first 10 damage via combat before Christian can stabilize the board. And then having draw spells and burn spells is just such a better argument than dirtling around playing cantrips.
Okay, so on the play, we still do think that Max is favored, right?
Yeah, on the play.
on the play.
I agree.
Let's see if Christian wants to keep that hand. I see a lot of tapped lands and a Spell Pierce. And if the third from the left card is a Medic, then I think that's good enough.
Is it all tap lands?
I'm not so sure about the right one, but I saw like 3 gates or something.
And 1 Spell Pierce.
Which really looks like a blast. It's even like, isn't it like the art is even red against blue,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, come on. Oh no, it's 1 island. Okay.
That's good, yeah.
That's really good, yeah.
Otherwise, it's like barely playable, the hand, but with 1 island, sounds pretty good.
Ooh, Enter Festivities in the starting hand. And a Tomb Raider, Furnace Tomb Raider start for Max.
That's all you want.
Especially in this matchup, this is like triple all you want.
Yeah.
And a Bolt to answer the...
And the blue one, of course. As always. The 3 Tomb Raider we have seen, always the blue one.
Okay, sequencing. What would you do in the mind of Christian right now? Because you have an island, you have a Lorien that you could cycle for another untapped island. So, yeah, island go.
With Medic and a gate in hand?
So you would do everything to do a turn 2 Medic.
I don't know how it would get better. I mean, it gets answered by Bolt, but playing a turn 3 to play around Bolt.
Yeah, I mean, if you now do gate, go, keep open Spell Pierce for something crucial.
Okay, so this was, Spell Pierce against the draw spell. True. Quite a good hand to keep open Spell Pierce turn 1.
Yeah. But drawing more gates and a Thram Charm. I think, putting back 2 gates. You have enough of those.
I think you have to just accept that this Medic is going to get answered, but...
Yeah, drawing out another island. I'm also not so sure.
The issue is that if you deploy all these non-gate lands, then later on your gate count is going to suffer, and if you ever top deck a Modern Age, then you will have to discard gates instead of islands. You always prefer to discard the islands, and so your long-term plan suffers from this kind of line.
And no white mana, which is also really bad if you, for example, draw a Sacred Cat.
And now I think Christian is in the same position, but he's gonna play the Medic 1 turn later, which is 3 damage later, and it's still gonna get bolted.
Yeah. I mean, he will probably play Island Medic for the Spell Pierce, but I think, as you said, the red player already dealt almost 10 damage only on the board.
Here's the cantrip. Cantrip is online.
2 mana, draw a card. Yeah, so I think you have to play Island Medic now, because otherwise you're completely lost, no? Or do you play Cat?
Yeah, now I would keep open Spell Pierce, especially with Max missing the land drop. I mean, this Medic is your only thing.
Yeah.
This is the only thing that... But this has to buy time and buy enough cards to find the next lifelinker.
He says red, so I think Medic Island would have been better if it's even a Medic, or if is it a Guardian? No, is it a Guardian? Wait. I think it's a Guardian, bro. I don't even think it's a Medic.
But why is this Guardian in the deck
Still, yeah, I think it's also too expensive.
Okay, so then it makes a bit more sense. If there is no Medic in hand...
It makes much more sense now.
I mean, still getting white mana online helps, because then later he top deck the cat, for example.
Okay, so you're keeping 2 mana open and not playing the cat. But I think you cannot take 3 from the board that easily all the time. I think that has to be stopped ASAP, and I think even playing a cat, so the red player has to find some sort of thing.
So now Max makes the 3rd land drop.
Let's see. And honestly, as Max, if you have instant speed burn, you can just lay back, right? You can just swing for 3, keep your mana open, and if the enemy taps out at any point, you just...
I mean, it's turn 4 of Caw-Gates, and they have spent, of the 6 available mana, 4 mana to Brainstorm, Lorien, and play 2 tapped lands, and that's all their game actions.
They found a Strands, though, which is kind of good. It is a Guardian, I think. Yeah, I'm sorry. It was not... because I also thought Guardian goes out during boarding, so I was not expecting... that.
And I mean, your opening hand, if you are against mono red on the draw, needs something to just win time.
Yep.
By turn 5, Basilisk Gate, you can hope to be online, and if you do a bit more digging, then Basilisk plus Lifelinker can be online.
So I think Max has now a window to just win. I think you crack the Relic now to...
No.
I don't know what's in the hand, because there's 3 cards in hand and there must be like some burn in it. And the blue player now tapped out.
I bet you Max gonna wait for... Oh, okay.
Okay,
You're
yeah.
proving me wrong.
He's gonna crack the Relic. He's gonna... Let's see.
No instant speed
Because
burn.
you just need to deal 8 damage, because 1 is gonna connect for sure. Yeah, exactly. That's 9. GG. Oh, no, the Guardian is not the play, unfortunately. Damn. Yeah, that's how it goes. And and it's even more devastating for Christian because he has a Strands. He could have just bought a whole turn with Strands, play a cat. Play cat, leave open Strands.
Yeah, well, you can
and
buy...
counter spell, and oh my god.
No, the problem is you can buy half a turn. Because if Max puts Chain Lightning on the stack, or just goes to combat, whatever, the moment Christian puts Strands on the stack, he's gonna eat 2 bolts.
Yes. Okay.
So, yeah.
I guess.
The problem is that Strands prevents like 3 damage in this turn and not 9.
But it will prevent all combat damage for 2 turns. And there was a counter spell pierce backup and a cat. So maybe you can like slam a cat and then, and then Strands gain 1 life of the cat and stuff. So
yeah,
it would have been probably better than play the...
Yeah, true. Guardian was desperation.
Yeah, Guardian was a bet, basically, right? Was a bet. I guaranteed survive this turn, and you have nothing. Otherwise.
Yeah, but I'm not even sure what it was betting on. Like, how is the Guardian better than the Sacred Cat, for example? I mean, he had double white, right? No, he didn't, because 1 land was on red.
Oh,
I'm not sure, but maybe he only had single red, because otherwise cat plus Strands is the best.
Yeah, I think so.
Then
I think that he only had a single white.
You can even double activate Strands.
That's true.
Okay, rough start. Caw-Gates on the draw gets beaten down by Tomb Raider, and unfortunately can't find white sources and or lifelink.
Tomb Raider, bro.
And this can happen. The red decks are capable of these starts.
Tomb Raider, it should have been you, We could have still had Kodota.
Yes. It should have been you. For sure.
Okay, then, GG. On to the next. Ich mach mal die Ansage, ja?
Mach mal die Ansage.
Okay. Oh, warte mal. Never mind. Ich muss ganz kurz das Audio ausmachen. Okay. Back to Viewing Awesome Magic. Match 4 now. With Mark versus Clemo. Phil. My audio quality is already kind of different. We are on a different setup now. So say hi to the world.
Hello world. Greeting from another plane, and yet I take it that we both see Mark and Clemo shuffling their deck, right?
Yes. Isn't it crazy technology, We're doing this now remotely. because this is now the only way for us to continue this, basically, right now at least, to get this done in time. And here we see Clemo and Mark battling it out for who starts first. The
I love
matchup.
Clemo's take. I love Clemo's take of setting 2 deck boxes on the table, then sorting through some papers, taking the other box, and then presenting your deck while the other deck has already been presented.
Yeah, the matchup that we have now, one could argue, is also that Clemens might be very favored because he's playing White Weenie into Mark's well-known Grixis Affinity. So I think if I had 2 decks to choose from, I would also probably choose White Weenie to play against Grixis.
And would you have also picked the 5th and 6th Dust to Dust from the side of the sideboard in this situation?
Definitely.
Or you think 4 is enough?
4 will get me through the day with like 2 Revoke Existence. I think that's plenty.
Okay, wow. And yeah, I see it right now. Clemo is actually bringing 4 Dust to Dust. No Revoke Existence though. But yeah, anyways. So why is this so favored? Why do you claim, Moritz, that this is so favored for the white deck?
So I think, of course, the artifact hate that comes in post-board is just crazy. And if you find 2 Dust to Dust within the 4, I would say 7 to 8 cards, even like disregarding your starting hand, then I think you just win by exiling their bridges or their lands in general, because oftentimes Grixis is quite stumbled on mana if something early goes wrong. And other than that, of course, flying creatures. Flying creatures, KCS cannot really clear that efficiently. And so the board wipe options become a little more limited.
And we're not talking about like 2 or 3 flying creatures, but as Clemo's starting hand indicates, more like 8 or 10 flying creatures, right?
Exactly. And the Refurbished Familiar does not trade well into those, and you have only 1 blowgun that can give reach. So, yeah. Here we see that Clemo starts with a mulligan. Nice. And Affinity. Mark showing a full hand of Bling.
Okay, and Clemo without a 1-drop, that's, I would say, somewhat unusual for the deck, but probably shows even more the power of the remaining cards, namely Squadron Hawk. I'm surprised by Squadron Hawk. I always thought this was Dennis' personal tech. Is this played in all the decks, or is this just Clemo and Dennis hawking away?
I actually don't know, but I think it's also a recent addition with the Shokomog. I think before that, that was not so playable, I guess. And of course, in the current meta, with so much burn, I think the Squadron Hawk reliably fetching you more white cards, so your Martyr of Sands gains you a bunch of life, is also like quite, I would say, like almost a meta call, right?
Okay. Yeah, Martyr of Sands also something new to me, although I think Clemo's not even running it. Ah, no, I'm wrong. Four of them in the sideboard. Okay. So we got now 2 Hawks deployed, and I think Clemo's hand is basically Battle Screeches and Squadron Hawks and Planes, right?
Yeah, and it's very interesting because these players, of course, know each other. So Clemo, in this case, knows that he's playing against Mark and he's playing against Affinity. So that's why the keep of Clemo, I think, was a little unusual into a blind match with just like turn 2 Hawk and then like just a bunch of nothing and Battle Screeches. But in this matchup, of course, this makes sense.
Mark stuck on land, but yeah, is running 2 Black Mages Rod over anything.
Yeah, I mean, the Black Mage's Rod's not the greatest start, right? And he's even deployed a Wellspring to find another land drop, but currently very stumbled. There's also a Refurb in hand to make Clemo discard, but of course there's another Battle Screech, so I think he wouldn't mind discarding one more or even just discarding a land. Yeah, that's the Refurb coming down now. And yeah, at this point Clemo says I can get rid of a Plains. And another Refurb discarding the Hawk. Okay, Spellbomb coming down. That can stop, of course, the Prismatic Strands if that should at some point happen. Of course, Clemo's gonna use his whole main phase to cast a Battle Screech and flash it back at the same time. So there's no window of opportunity for the Spellbomb to be cracked.
Okay. And so, have we seen all the 8 birds now already?
Yeah, I think all of them are on the board. Clemo's running out of tokens. There's now 6 tapped birds. No, I mean, with the Squadron Hawk at 7. So, damage in the air is definitely coming in.
And I mean, Mark has a decent board for 3 lands, but is it too late, too little?
Yeah, I think he couldn't never deploy really anything. He has to crack a Spellbomb now just to find anything really. As I said, there's no sweeper in the air, so I think he has a KCS in hand and even a Toxin, but that doesn't do anything right now. And I think the last card is a Thoughtcast, and he's not even, no blue mana available.
Blue. I mean, I wonder if there's any situation where Mark can raise this. Yeah, but tough to believe if Clemo can trade with the Refurb so easily.
Yeah, and
2 Black Mage's Rod presents a lot of damage, but it's also kind of slow.
yeah, it's very slow, and also the problem is even if you find your Galvanic Blast or something, there's always also the possibility of Prismatic Strands and everything from the white side, from the Weenie side. So I think even Clemo holding back maybe one bird, or maybe 1 or 2 as a blocker is even sufficient, like to jump the Myr Enforcer at all times.
Yeah, and above 10 life, there is nothing really to be afraid about. Yeah, even just an Inspector.
And Clemo's even thinking, like, he has the Thraben Charm in hand, so he's very flexible how to use that right now. And Mark is now on 8 life. There's lethal damage in the air, and there's no blocker whatsoever in the air. So I think the best chance that Mark now has is doing a Toxin analysis.
Draw 3 cards.
Yeah, of course, draw cards, but also gaining back life, the crucial amounts of life with Toxin analysis on the Myr Enforcer.
Or the Reckoner's Bargain would also get him another turn.
If, the Toxin I know he has in hand, that's why I'm relating to this.
But how is it? Yeah, it would gain like 3 life right now, 4 life.
Yeah, it would gain 4 life for if you just put it on the Enforcer.
Okay, I thought you meant KCS Toxin.
No. That's
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of free.
yeah, and Clemo even just saying, hey, I kill your Enforcer. Like, okay. There's the Reckoner's Bargain.
So I think, yeah.
Yeah, you were right.
I don't
So
know. It looks. It still looks grim for Mark.
yeah, I mean, Mark is tapped out, so there's also the toxin analysis is dead now, so he's really, like, the board is essentially cleared. There's no mana available for the rest of the turn. And now basically Clemo can go ahead, crack a clue, maybe find a pump spell.
And it's also a 2-turn clock still with the Inspector alive. I thought it's only 7 damage, but with the Inspector it's 8. I wonder what Mark has in mind so that he uses the toxin now.
Interesting that Clemo decided to crack the clue post-combat because I think the pump spell would have been lethal. The Guardian's Pledge. But he's probably not in any rush whatsoever.
True, yeah. Of course, Clemo kept the land in hand. Mark draws a card. Okay, now Mark is somewhat online. Still no blue mana though.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. I see like at least a Galvanic Blast also in the hand of Mark. So that can deal with the Skyfisher, which otherwise is currently really annoying.
I mean, you can toxin block it.
Yeah, true, also possible.
But it's gonna give Mark another turn. But the problem is with the Black Mage's Rod not equipped it. There is like he has no counter pressure.
Yeah, and I think he realizes that and equips the familiar, so I think he mistaps. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Keep open the black
3
mana,
times.
please. Okay, so Clemo has a bunch of good draws right now. Like, so many good draws.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And I think he drew a Thraben Charm, which can now also proactively... Yeah.
And I mean, Mark is fighting for dear life. Yeah, I don't know. The problem is that Mark has no clock, so this surviving at 1, surviving at 7. Can you see a sequence where Mark can basically win on the next turn?
Of course, that would be 3 Galvanic Blasts.
How
But
close are we? We got Thoughtcast.
by the way, I misread the draw. It was an Inspector, not a Thraben Charm. The artworks just look kind of similar on a glance. So double rod on the refurb. So he's actually burning a ray right now. So taking 2 from a single Thoughtcast. So now even just 1 more Galvanic
And
Blast.
there is a Gal Blast.
So he swings in. And
what's the other card? He's Gal Blast and what else?
That's lethal.
Oh my.
That's... Wow.
But I mean, I don't know. That's what I meant. These Black Mages rods early, they do nothing blocking, but that's the only way Mark can win, right?
Yeah,
He's
that was
not gonna win
brutal.
through combat.
Wow, okay. I didn't think that Mark was gonna survive this, honestly. Because it was looking very dire. But yeah. Coming in now post board. So we already know that White Weenie will bring a bunch of artifact hate, for sure. What will Affinity bring? There's, I think, of course, 2 breath weapons. These are your holy grails, basically, in this matchup. And probably a negate the one-off negate to fight back with the artifact exiling spells. Would you bring anything else?
Bring Unexpected Fangs.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I think overall, like Mark's suboptimal start. Like, I mean, Mark played 4 refurbs, and almost all of them just traded against one of the 8+4 Battle Screech and Squadron Hawks. But still, all he needed was just to gain some life. It's not even really stabilizing because Clemo kept all the birds still, but just gain enough life and then burn out White Weenie. And I also think that this game was kind of non-interactive. Like they, besides sometimes jump blocking or whatever, they only interacted with each other by dealing combat damage, gaining life, but you know what I mean? Not really dealing with the permanence of the other.
Yeah, for sure. I think the only kind of interaction in that sense is probably where do I send my Thraben Charm?
Yeah.
I guess was the only real interaction that happened.
I mean, Strands and Pledge offer some avenues there. Yeah, but here, I mean, there was just, it looked like 2 ships sailing, no, passing at night, or how you say.
Yeah, exactly. Because, of course, Clemo deployed preliminary flyers, which is for the Affinity deck harder to interact with. But I think post-board we're going to see much more dance around, for example, the Prismatic Strand and the Breath Weapon. I think this is going to be like a crucial fight that these 2 decks will fight over. And let's see if Clemo can find one of the strands in time, basically. And there's gonna be this weird dance of me as Affinity, I'll play a bunch of spell bombs, and you cannot really discard for value because I'll threaten to exile your value pieces. But the strands is so important, but it's also 3 mana from the hand, so. Looking forward to that. Clemo actually taking a mulligan here, because I think he has not enough early plays, because there were a bunch of Battle Screeches and a Dust to Dust in the starting hand, which is, of course, something that you would love. But if there's no development in the first 3 turns, then your Dust to Dust is a high risk maneuver, I would say.
Yeah, if you can't follow it up, then it might become irrelevant again.
Yeah, if you build no pressure in the meantime.
But I mean, still, yeah, Clemo is now on the play, so this is where Dust to Dust really shines. Mark might play 2 bridges and they're gone. But I don't know if Clemo has Dust to Dust in hand.
I think right now he doesn't, but he has like Squadron Hawk, Shokomog, Skyfisher, and 2 planes. That's his whole hand. So I think with the turn 2 Squadron Hawk refilling the hand, follow-up plays with Shokomog, that's already like plenty of pressure at least. So if then he can in 1 or 2 turns find one of the artifact exiling spells, I think that's a setup for success.
I also had the feeling that in game 1, Clemo kind of played it quite conservatively. I mean, he had not too much choice with his hand, but I wonder whether it's an instance of, okay, I'm so much ahead in the matchup, I just have to not make mistake.
I'm not so sure. I think,
Yeah.
like you said, there weren't many interaction windows. I think one of the things that could have played differently was the Frame Charm on the Mirror Enforcer, which maybe at the current point of time was not necessary or something, but I'm not so sure.
Yeah, and also here, this is what I meant. Like, probably Skyfisher doesn't make much sense here, but the Lunak Veteran is definitely the worst creature, and Clemo plays it here probably to get around the spell bomb.
Yeah, I think he just wants to get many flyers out right now, and I think with the mana that he had, he thought, hey, with the cards that I have in my hand right now, of course I could play for this equal mana. I could play a Squadron Hawk or a Skyfisher that gets no value right now. So instead, I will just invest the mana, get the value out of my grave right away, and set up for a better Shokomok in future turns. But yeah, it's definitely for the Weenie player such like wasting a full turn 3 on a Lunak Veteran from the graveyard is like not ideal.
Wow. Mark, like, somewhat like the best turn 3 you could imagine.
Now we're gonna see what Clemo will do. I think he's gonna, of course, deploy the things that the opponent knows about. So playing one Squadron Hawk, and he's thinking about Frame Charming the Mirror Enforcer, so that's out of the way.
And then again, Blood Fountain will get it back. Okay, and now I think Mark, with his attack with the refurb, is kind of saying, yeah, I'm gonna raise you again. If I get you to 12 life, things can happen.
Yeah.
Especially with a rod out.
Yeah, I think the Black Mage's Rod right now is doing a bunch of work. Probably.
Yeah. And also, as we saw in the late, you can just switch it to a creature to pump its attack as well. I kind of oversaw that, but I think that did 2 extra damage in the last game.
But still, I think Mark holding back the refurb now is the right call, because now is the critical mass in the air is almost kind of getting there, where pump spells become really swingy.
And I wonder whether Clemo bought it in live game.
I also wondered that if you maybe put in one of the martyrs.
Yeah.
But not so sure.
Because I think it could be, yeah, like if you play Junt versus Affinity, I think you also just bought some life gain cards because you can only lose if they aggro you. And I think the board state of the last game told the same story. If they kept grinding this game, Clemo would have won that. But Affinity with Black Mage's Rod sometimes has these cheeky haha I get you moments. Gaining 10 or 15 life gets you out of that. And it's another Black Mage's Rod. I mean, it's funny how this increases Mark's pressure.
Yeah, I also think that Black Mage's was such a great addition to Affinity. Like all the time when I play against it, it's really annoying. Because it's driving up so much value. And here I think Mark has now 2 things that constantly ping, but there's also a Chocomock enabled flying squad of orcs and cores. So that's swinging in for quite a bunch of damage. Mark is now on 8 life.
I mean, the issue is that... bargain. Oh, but bargain without life gain. Just to draw cards. I mean, Mark has Blood Fountain online with Refurb and Mirror Enforcer that he can deploy after it.
I think Mark right now is actually more digging towards the win. With 2 rods out, like 1 Galvanic Blast is 6 damage, and Clemo's already on 13. So I think he just basically just needs to survive 1 more turn. And with all the pings, he should be able to burn Clemo out.
Then again, there is a lot of ifs in there. Like not respecting prismatic strands and such.
Exactly. I think also Clemo keeping open 3 mana on purpose, probably just to crack a clue, but it's also signaling, hey, the way I lose right now is a breath weapon, probably. So let's fake at least having the having the prismatic strands.
I find it so weird to figure out who's the aggro and who's the control here, because I would say that Affinity is the control, but they only win by racing. It's like so weird.
Yeah, I think they're probably both trying to win ASAP, with different means of achieving that. Okay, so the Hawk discarded to the Refurbished Familiar. Refurb, of course,
Clemo...
being a great value piece because it can like block for a turn and gain 4 life with a Reckoner's Bargain.
And does Mark have another Reckoner's Bargain?
I think so.
And I mean, the problem is that Clemo has not seen any of the heavy hitters. He has not seen Guardian's Pledge, Prismatic Strands, Dust to Dust in the whole game. I mean, Shokomok does some work here, but I don't know. Clemo has the potential to hit harder, I think, and destroy evil. I mean, this answers a Mirror Enforcer, but it's not game-winning play, I would say.
Yeah, but if we know Clemo, then it's he's from the get-on also that he's making the best out of his cards at all times. So I'm having confidence that this might sail into his direction. But you know, he's considering right now because it's very dangerous right now. He's on 11 life. There's a pinger. There are 2 pingers on the field with Mark having 3 mana open. So that's at least 1 more spell that's probably going to be fired in the end step. So then he's already on virtually 9. And the chances of Mark finding even 1 Galvanic Blast in like a bunch of cards is very high right now.
I mean, 1 Galvanic Blast at least gets answered by the Standard Bearer.
That is
but
true.
I feel like that Mark's position is way better now than in the last game. Like, I think here to pull off a win for Mark is easier than in the last game.
I would agree so, yes.
And Clemo's at 11 life, and this is not gonna get better. Yeah, but then again, also Mark is at 3. Funny.
Yeah, it's so
just
funny.
2 very different engines throwing damage at each other.
And the Standard Bearer might actually like be the win right now. I think Mark should have drawn with the Spell Bomb now just to find an out. Because he had still 1 mana open. Because he's now trying to really like burn Clemo out in this exact turn.
And I mean, you could easily do that, yeah. No Gallblast needed.
That's our 2 Thoughtcasts already.
Yeah, this is definitely... Like, he has not made a land drop, I think, so...
And there's a Spell
only
Bomb.
3 more spells.
And the Spell Bomb also pings for 2 already, so he just needs 2 more spells. I'm not so sure what he
2
has
more
in hand.
spells with 3 mana.
He can also swing.
Yeah, but that's basically for sure GG, right?
Yes, that should be GG. I mean, I would have
I
probably
hope
played
that's
all the
something.
spells before.
Makes sense, yeah.
Oder? Right?
Makes some sense, yeah. Oof. Shit, you're right. Oh my.
Never not having it.
No, but you know, that's what I said in the beginning. Like Clemo in both games, I think played really solid, really conservative, fair lines, but he never had any of the crazy bangers of the deck. And apparently, Affinity can raise that.
Yeah, I think there was. Yeah, I have to see what the hand from Clemo at the end was a Battle Screech. Okay, yeah. No, but I think, I mean, Clemo played everything proactively onto the table, right? So I haven't looked into
Yeah, for sure.
the situations if there was maybe if there was a situation where he could have extended even more his reach, where he was like playing maybe a little careful or something. But I think in this case, but you can see how often the missing turn one play, right? Like the 3 damage that Mark is missing basically from being lethal, that would have been an Inspector hitting for a few more turns.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, sure. If the hand lends itself to that.
Oh yeah,
But
no
I can't
bangers.
really put I can't really put my finger on it. But also the destroy evil, I think, is this is maybe Claymore was prepared more to fight on the Mer Enforcer as the biggest threat of the deck axis, or like munitions, and he wanted to answer munitions and such. But it all came down to Black Mage's Rod, his game style.
Yeah, I think Clemo just puts that in for like, because munitions is game ending for this version of the deck, that
Mhm.
he just has to put in more answers to munitions that are more than the Frame Charms.
Mhm.
But yeah, of course, in the end, very, very unfortunate that he couldn't find just a single Guardian's Pledge or a single Strands or for that matter. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's magic.
that's magic. See you in the next one.
Yes.
Okay, welcome to round 5, where we have again Mark with Affinity on 4-0 against Gunny on Red Rally, also 4-0. And these two are fighting it out for basically the winner of today's Lega stage. What do you make of the matchup, Moritz?
Very exciting. I often clown the Red Rally deck for being so one-dimensional, and I think Affinity has a lot of tools to deal with that, namely KCS and post-board even breath weapons such. So I think this can go either way, because Red Rally also very famously known for being able to stumble the opponent. If you just deploy so much pressure early on, you can easily finish with some burn spells down the line. So I think this is anyone's game.
To be honest, I have no idea about this matchup. I only heard people grudge about it. Like, I think either Affinity players or Red players have expressed their I don't know, their frustration about the matchup.
One thing that is already very relevant is that Mark mulliganed to 5, and I think
Played a great furnace.
and Marcel held a healthy 7. So Yeah, and
Wow, but it's a good.
you know, this is so beautiful to watch because Gunny, I think, has a Tomb Raider in hand. So
He did not play it.
yeah, because he's like, you play a Great Furnace into nothing. What could be your hand? And the hand,
Interesting. And me, on the other hand, I would have probably taken the 1 damage and bolted the Clockwork at least in the end step.
yeah, I think also the Clockwork Percussionist is not the target you want to hit if the enemy has a full hand. Because I think the probability of the red player having a 2/2 that will be swinging in for much more damage is just very high. But Mark, I think, just didn't want to waste any of his mana. Still, it's looking very dire right now. Because he's on.
Do you think so?
Yeah, he's down to 2 cards. And if these 2 cards are not doing much, then I think Gunny has a good shot right now because he's redeploying onto the battlefield, still having a synthesizer and another Voldaren in hand. And Mark, I think, has right now land, Spellbomb, Refurb.
But Mark has an amazing hand for a Mile to 5. I mean, okay, the Spellbomb doesn't do much, but already Refurb, Gallblast is somewhat the best cards you can get in game 1, right?
Yeah, I think the Refurbs really do help against this version of red, just because there's no value to be gained from discarding cards.
Here's interesting. Sinti into Burning Tree or Burning Tree into Sinti? Because Gunny is also down to 1 card.
Yeah, he's finding
now Gunny has 3 creatures, a synthesizer, and a blood token to win this whole game. I mean,
yeah, I think the Refurbs
but at
really
least,
did.
yeah.
The Refurbs really 2-for-1, like truly.
Yeah, true. Gunny discarded a synthesizer early and then top decked a lot of lands of the other draw spells.
And Mark redrew a Galvanic Blast and a Reckoner's Bargain. So let's see if Mark can stabilize before Gunny's applying more pressure. I was not aware of what he just drew for turn, but of course there's always the possibility to crack a synthesizer right now or to cycle the blood if it's like a dead card. But I think as the red rally player, of course, like with every red deck, you want to finish this as soon as you can. And it's a Ginger Brood.
Okay, it's for 2. And I mean, there's still very big plays that Mark can pull off. Gunny's doing a good job of keeping him low on artifacts. Now, Mark is contributing to that.
Yeah, Mark really needs to dig for, I guess, an answer. I mean, he's still on 13 life, which is plenty, but he's not about. He doesn't want to waste any more time, basically, to stabilize. So he's even willing to sacrifice a land for it. I think he drew a KCS that he's not going to deploy right now. I'm not sure what he drew, but I think it was a KCS. But Mark, Gunny finding the rally off the top definitely helps.
Wow, why do you think he didn't deploy the KCS?
I'm not sure. I also disagree, but maybe he wanted to, in the same turn, gain the value of the bargain with it.
Does he have a bargain in hand?
Yes, the last card of his is a bargain, so now he's gonna probably sweep the board.
Yeah, that makes some sense. And I mean, he's cutting off some haste plays with this, and he's catching a lot of creatures. But still this, I don't know, the Sinti and the Blood Token, they are lying around forever. But I think they will do some work once Weenie just doesn't want to play his hand anymore.
And I think now the time has come. So Burning Tree, crack.
Now let's hope it's not a 2-drop.
Ooh, it's a
Course it
Reckless
is.
Impulse, but that's
That's unfortunate.
yeah.
Yes. Oh man. You gotta hate this deck.
But it's so interesting that Gunny is still in the play, right? Like he's still doing stuff. And
I mean, Weenie has done a lot. I'm a bit surprised Marcus at 10 life, to be honest.
so killing the samurai
Mark wants-
now. Going to 5. And 5 is by far not a comfortable spot. You have used already 2 bargains. I think that's the 3rd bargain that is used now. Onto something that doesn't gain any kind of life. So I think Mark is now digging for another board clear or another way to stabilize the board in general, like with a creature, for example. But he has sacrificed, I think, like 3 lands at this point, or 4 lands even.
Yeah, the low amount of permanence really tells the story here. But not that he could not dig himself out of this. But the problem is that most of the life gain options of Affinity rely on certain permanence.
Yeah, and that's
So you don't have any 2 mana drop gain 5, but you need something.
Gunny just respectfully revealing the Galvanic Blast from the Reckless Impulse, and that's it. Yeah, I think if there was one like Myr Enforcer Reckoner's Bargain in this mix, or like even a Myr Enforcer to just stabilize the board the entire time. But I think, honestly, both sides, right? Like, Mark also drew a bunch of refurbs, which in this case was really doing a lot of work. So I think it's not even a kind of situation where you say, oh, maybe if he drew something else. Like, the refurbs in themselves were really great.
Yeah, and also some crucial Gallblast. And Gunny, on the other hand, I don't know. It seemed like the draw spells never revealed what he needed. It's like a early impulse that shows you 2 mountains. He cannot even play both of the mountains. Later on, the Sinti flips an impulse that he cannot cast. It's like a bit clunky of a draw engine.
Yeah, I think in the end, even Gunny was the one lowballing, right? Like, low rolling, let's say. Let's phrase it like that. Like, there was never a Burning Tree Emissary Bushwhacker. There was never a Burning Tree Rally at the Hornburg. There was like never these high value plays that you aim to make with the deck. Like the explosiveness was not really given, I would say.
Yeah, totally agree.
Looking at the sideboard right now, I know that, of course, Mark is for sure gonna bring in the probably 1 Unexpected Fangs, 1 more KCS, and 2 Breath Weapons. There's
Sounds reasonable.
even the possibility of like bringing in 1 Blue Blast. Or
Why not?
even like he plays 5 Blue Blast effects in the sideboard. So that's also of consideration. So I think from the Affinity side, if you don't stumble, there's a lot of tools in the sideboard.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Affinity has, in general, also in the main deck, so many tools. But I mean, Mark has been one of the people who complains a lot about the matchup, so there must be some issue with it.
What do you... Yeah, I mean, in this case, it must be quite obvious who's the control and who's the aggro. I think here I would even be inclined to just take out the Black Mage's rods.
Yeah, for sure.
So here there's not going to be any weird I control the board while pinging you to death.
Yeah, like how you win in the end doesn't matter here. You just need to stabilize board and life total.
I think the problem in this matchup is probably just the explosive part about the rally deck when there is no KCS or no breath weapon on nothing in the hand of the affinity player, like when it's happening early, like if it's a turn 2 play, that's oftentimes something you just can't really answer.
Yes, but you can answer it on a later turn.
Most likely, like with now 4 KCS, 2 breath weapons being in the deck, you are likely to see one of the answers in the first 3 turns, I would say. If you also draw a bunch at all times.
And I mean, if you can get every now and then 7 life, or if you take a hit from a bushwhacker and then answer it with KCS plus toxin, I think it's okay to take some life as long as you can get it back.
We are now in the
Blue
game.
Blast open.
Yeah, there's a boarded Hydroblast, but that's all that happened right now. Clockwork Percussion is hitting for 2 turns. In Gunny's hand are 2 Epicures, a Fire Blast, a Mountain, and a Bolt. So the board presence has now been officially stopped for now, which is for the rally player, of course, kind of unfortunate. Ah, no, it was not a Fire Blast. It was another rally. Okay, never mind then.
I thought it was an impulse. I also misread the artwork.
And this is now scary, right? Now you need an answer for the board.
Yeah, I mean, this is pressure now. This is definitely still answerable. But yeah, with Gunny still like 3 or 4 cards in hand, you can cycle an excess land. Yeah, this is the sweet spot for Gunny.
Now Mark keeping the red mana open to hopefully draw a KCS, which he doesn't. So instead he's gonna, of course, strip Gunny of some cards, which is only a mountain for now. So Mark has 3 Galvanic Blasts in hand.
Really?
Yes.
Mark has, not Gunny. But both Refurb and Galvanic Blast are pretty bad against the board that Gunny has.
Yes. So he needs to use them, of course, defensively now on a 1-1, which is something you never like to see.
Take 2, go to 12. But still, Gunny kept the initiative through this turn cycle. And playing 1/1s is just apparently kind of the best answer Gunny has for Mark's strategy.
And I think Gunny now has to lay all of his eggs in a single basket, because he knows that there was no KCS the last turn, but he needs the pressure of the 1/1s to wrap up this game, basically. Because if there's more time to stabilize, like Mark has a full hand right now, so if he gets time to just stabilize, that's bad.
Gunny did not play the Ginger Brute.
No, that's still exiled.
Just to play around KCS.
And that's really interesting right here. Yeah, okay, Gunny's firing off the... So giving Mark one more draw, because the KCS right here would be horrible for Gunny. But it's not being drawn, so sometimes it's that easy. So 8 life on the enemy. You on board, basically, if you play the Gingerbread, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. That's Burning Tree.
It's a decent but not amazing top deck.
So that's 4 damage coming in. 1 is gonna get blocked, and ooh, okay, I didn't see that. That's changing the math quite a bit.
Okay, this is huge and requires Lightning Bolt as an answer. And I don't know.
This is huge, right? Gaining 3 life a turn while blocking the creatures. Like, this is exploring now onto the refurb. So lifelink gaining 4 life a turn. That's insane.
I mean, Mark still has to protect this refurb if possible.
But at least you know that the rally player is drawing 1 card a turn.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, this could be GG already. Like playing Dimir against red decks a lot, just one Mukotai Ambusher or something. If it sticks, it's not raceable.
And he even redrew right now a Hydroblast, so every top deck can be cleanly answered.
Yeah, I think this is basically
and a
over.
KCS. Okay, so this yeah, Mark can now go actually on the offensive, which is quite funny because also his hand with two Galvanic Blasts, I think, like he has the ability to unexpectedly kill Gunny in like 1 or 2 turns.
Yeah, but this lifelink refurb and the blue blast is basically a lock to the game.
Yes.
You could almost not put any cards in Gunny's hand that he can draw in reasonable time to get out of this. Or is there? I just think there is none. Like top deck Lightning Bolt get answered by Blue Blast, and then what? Top deck Lightning Bolt again, of course. Is there anything else? Impulse, I think Mark would counter at this point.
Okay, that's a rally, so he's gonna probably play that.
That's decent.
And Mark allows
This will
it.
get count rally. Oh, why do I think this is impulse all the time?
Okay, I think this is still definitely like in a very strong favor for Mark right now, just because he's gaining 4 life a turn and he's having 8 burn damage in hand. So 1 more turn and this is his game. And I don't think that Rally Red can do 18 points of damage in a single turn while drawing 1 card a turn.
Yeah, sweet stuff. Mark playing 2 is out, and I was about to say earlier, this refurb itself got Gurney to discard the bolt. And in hindsight, I don't know, maybe you wonder whether Gurney should have bolted this refurb. Not foreseeing this, but in general, let Mark draw 1 more card, but get rid of the creature.
Yeah, I mean, he sent the bolt face. It wasn't discarded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this is now GG. What does it mean for the next game? Like, I mean, of course, Gunny was now on the draw, so that's different, but
I think what you can see is that Gunny has a good game plan versus Affinity. Like, the stuff he did looked just reasonable and good and strong. Mark needs to answer this, and Mark has some like soft answers to Gunny's strategy. Like, just the refurb itself is okay, I would say, and maybe gaining some life off a bargain is okay. And then he has these really hard answers to the strategy, and that would be like KCS or this unexpected fangs on a creature, lines. which can really end the game. And I think there is only so much Gunny can do to prevent these lines, because they revolve around black spells that Gunny cannot counter. And he can play fully into them to raise these cards, or he just has to hope that Mark doesn't find them.
Yeah, I think it's really hard also because in this matchup, like Refurb is doing so much. It's a 2-for-1 without question at all times. Because it discards a card guaranteed that there's no value to be gained. Plus, it will block a 2/2, or it will eat another removal spell. So it's
And it's 1 mana.
and it's 1 mana. That's just crazy.
That also helps a lot. No, I mean, on the play, Gunny can just set up a decent board. He has some starts. He has some even crazy turn 2, turn 3 plays. Maybe he can win on the back of that again. Maybe also just having some more bolts and Gallblast in hand to answer some of Mark's creatures could help, or like deal like 8 damage without combat. Yeah, I think it comes down to, if both have a healthy hand, then Gunny needs the pressure and Mark needs his funky tools.
Yeah, I think Gunny would also appreciate turn 1 Tomb Raider start at some point.
For sure, yeah.
So let's see if he's gifted enough to finally draw that. Because when they're playing against me, they never not have it, you know?
And then on turn 2, another one, right?
Yeah, with a Epicure backup.
Or the monkey.
Interesting hand for Gunny right now. He's opening enough hands and 2 cast into the fire. And I think he's
that's
keeping
also
that
an avenue.
on the play.
That's also an avenue. I like it because you can at least mess with the colors of Affinity, and if things go really well, you can mess with their whole game. And Marcus Mulligan.
In what order would you prioritize? You would probably first take away the red, maybe, because it's the only spell that answers the board.
I don't know what color sources Affinity plays, but I assume that blue is the light splash, so you probably have less blue. So I think if there is a shot at cutting off a color, then maybe it's blue.
But in this matchup, is blue that important?
I think it's pretty good if you can safely resolve the impulses and the bushwhackers. I think that's worth a lot, actually. And also, like, let's say you on turn 3, you play an impulse, then Mark plays a blue blast, and you have to defend it with a red blast, then you cannot cast anything of the impulse, you know? Also, I would say it's worth something, and I think shutting off red of Affinity seems tough. They play great furnaces as well.
I mean, this is, of course, highly situational and contextual as well, because Mark is now on a mulligan to 5, and I think any dual color bridge will probably do in turn 2.
Yeah, definitely. Now that Mark is on 5, and I mean, Mark will not keep 3 lands, probably. So Gunny might be up to some real good stuff here. Oh, wow, he's on 4.
No, he's not. He's on 4.
Yes. Okay, then I think this is kind of...
this is over.
This might be over before it started.
Okay,
Ouch.
He's putting down KCS, Galvanic Blast, and as we know, Affinity doesn't doesn't really like to shuffle their deck.
Yeah, and they keep a blue blast, and Mark keeps a blue blast in hand with probably a blue mana.
No, he was
But
on 5.
this will never happen.
He was on 5. Yeah, he was just himself. He was confused, I think.
Yeah, but still, this is...
Yeah, this is tough. And there's the bridge, and I think he can already say bye-bye. Oh no. No, that was my phone not working. Yeah, okay, perfect.
Wow, and I mean, like, for us commentating this, I'm astonished of how much of these games come down to variance, right? I mean,
Yeah.
This is just unfortunate, and I don't know, the hands that Clemo had that had not the explosive elements is also just unfortunate. When you're in the games, you sometimes, maybe I just zone that out, but I don't know, this is so big.
And Goonie actually thinking about it, but of course, resetting the Affinity player, always a good idea.
Maybe this is just a bluff because this is so clear. I think this is so clear what he's doing. Now he can play Burning Tree plus cast.
I mean, there's also a rally, so you can have the real explosiveness right now. And if you think about it, KCS right now with 2 lands cannot do so much. So if you would have KCS Blood Fountain, then you can pump like 2 artifacts into it. But okay, he's gonna go for the safest route, for the largest reset, and he's just gonna...
I mean, chances, wow. Wow, and it's even a blue source, so it's kind of crazy, actually, that Mark gets a shot at playing this game. Could be that he has no land now at all.
I'm still saying, I think the red sources are more valuable in this game.
Yes, all I'm saying is that there is more of the red sources probably, so it's tougher to shut them off.
Okay, fair. Okay,
but totally agree. If you can shut off the red, yeah, that's great.
Discarding a lightning bolt because he has had a reckless impulse still in hand, which of course it's revealing.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. And now let's not run into a KCS and just get this over with. It's a solid attack for 8. Mark's not even blocking.
Yeah, I think Mark has just only a single out, and that is a breath weapon.
But then you would block here.
Probably.
Maybe it's the unexpected fangs thing he wants to do again.
Or he needs the refurb as fodder for the KCS.
But he doesn't even have a second land, does he?
I think everything, every out is revolving around the fact that he draws a red source. An untapped red source.
Untapped red source, yes.
Because he has a breath weapon and a KCS in hand.
Great furnace on or die.
No furnace. And that's GG.
Okay, so he didn't block to sack the refurb to the KCS.
But I think
that's risky, but maybe you have to do it.
Also doesn't really make sense because you kind of makes sense if you play the KCS without cracking it immediately, right? Because you also have a breath weapon in hand, but you could also just do the breath weapon. Because if you have to find an untapped red source to fire off anything, so it is also enabling breath weapon. So I think in this case you just do the breath weapon.
Yeah, agreed.
GG. This was, I think, but yeah, as you said, variance, right? Like Goonie's opening hand was completely bonkers, especially in this matchup. And then even your opponent going down to 5 on the draw, and you're just already grinning through both cheeks.
Yes, and the starting hand. I mean, even I'm grinning looking at this.
Very well played. So Red Rally takes it home for Lega Pauper Lipsia stage number 6. The only 5-0 for the day. And Mark placing only, he's still, of course, in the top 8 with a 4-1 score on Grixis Affinity. And by the way, for all the people that watched, the Clemo on White Weenie also made it to a 4-1. And Max on Maxite Burn, which we also have seen earlier in the stream, or in the recording, I would say, also made it to a 4-1.
Should we talk through the top 8?
Sure, we can do.
Because behind Gunny, I see Walls from Jonas. And then, as you just said, Mono White from Clemo, Maxite from Max, Grixis from Mark. And then we have another Mono White from Dennis, Demir Terror from Lou, a deck that we have not seen a long time. And then Mono Blue Fae going undefeated, but with 2 draws from Jannis. So this seems a bit like we can relax from the grasp of High Tide top 8. No, I don't know. 2 mono white on Walls. Some decks that at least benefit from the High Tide ban.
Yeah, and also none of the new fancy stuff, like it's regular Walls. It's not none of that spy stuff, it's playing an honest amount of lands.
For sure.
Which is 12.
Yeah, but mana dogs to get there.
Exactly.
Land grants. Well.
Yeah, I
Do
love
you
it.
have any overarching thoughts about this?
Not really. I think it's a quite diverse top 8. I love that. And if you look at the top list, it's also, I think the meta right now is just wide open, both locally and globally, which we have also seen even at the Get-On, I think.
It's less combo heavy. It's more interactive, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
like Waltz combo, the only combo deck, then some burn decks, but the rest is basically combat interactive decks.
Yeah. So all your limited skills can be applied finally again. Even in Pauper. All right, I think I've nothing really more to say. Other than thanks for watching. And the next game day, number 7, is actually the day after tomorrow already.
Yes. We've been slacking.
Yeah, we've been putting this off for quite some time, but life happens and there's quite this is in the end a little bit time intensive, but it's also really fun. So you can look forward to game day number 7 soon.
Yes. So, have a good one, everyone, and see you on the next one.
Bye-bye.